I'm not letting Ron breathe. No, he was.
Why would you not let me breathe today, Chill?
Because you was popping all of that yesterday, and with you popping all of that, your girls came up short, which by the way was a dog fight, which 100% was a dog fight. One of the best games that I've seen in the playoffs in the WNBA. One of the best. I'm thinking about that Detroit. That I want to say Detroit and Seattle in 2005. That's one of the best playoff games I ever seen, yo. That was an awesome game. I wasn't sure who was gonna win, Ron. I was not sure who was gonna win. I wasn't.
Chill. So my only thing about last night and the series altogether is that nobody gave us a fighting chance. Am I correct, Morris?
Have you paid Real Talk yet?
Let's get to that. Let's discuss that for a second.
Have I paid Real Talk?
Yeah.
We are going to make a double bet, a double or nothing.
Mars, you know who else he hasn't paid?
Is that you, Chill?
Right here. This dude right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Have you paid him yet, Ron? Have you paid him yet?
Chill hasn't told me the stream of line that he would like me to send the money in. And Real Talk, I don't have his Cash App. I don't have his Venmo. He's not my next door neighbor. I can't just they gotta request the money from me, Mars.
I didn't know that, Mars. I don't know how it works in England, but when you lose a bet, you don't request to get paid. You lost.
How am I supposed to send you the money, Chill?
Have you reached out to Real Talk asking how you can pay him?
He hasn't reached out to me.
See what I'm talking about, Ron? See what I'm talking about, Mars?
He hasn't.
You don't request to get paid. We had a deal. Mars and I are shaking hands. We had a deal. We had a bet. I lose the bet. Mars doesn't have to say to me, Chill, where's my money? He doesn't have to say that. I lost the bet. I got to pay him. I already know.
Ron, if you had taken the +6, you would have won. Remember I told you? +6, give yourself some odds.
I don't bet on spreads.
You don't.
You don't pay bets in general. So I mean,
well, this is why you don't win bets, Ron.
If he never has to pay him, is he really losing bets?
That's a good. That's a good point, Morris.
It is, but here's the difference. Here's the difference, Mars. He actually does have to pay because when I see him, there's not going to be a lot of conversation. That's all. It's not going to be a lot of conversation.
So I'm getting paid in the ass whooping. Ben, are you getting in on this?
No. When I see
Real
him,
talk.
be a lot of talk.
Real talk. Are you out there?
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to put myself through a misdemeanor for a $20 payback.
All right. Hopefully, Real Talk isn't either for $50. But Real Talk, I do have a Cash App for you. If you do have a Cash App account, I'll get that to you by the start of the season. But once again, this show is brought to you by Splash Sports. Shout out to Splash Sports. They do pay on time. And also, shout out to Asia Wilson because she made WNBA history yesterday on multiple fronts. Yesterday should just be renamed Asia Wilson Day because what she did last night was historic. One of the best WNBA performances we've seen in a closeout Game 3 against the Seattle Storm. The Las Vegas Aces were able to advance. But also, earlier in the day, and this is what I want to start with before we get into the game, Asia Wilson won Defensive Player of the Year. But it wasn't just her name on the trophy pin. Who else won it? What happened?
It's an Australian female named Alana.
Elena?
It's Alana.
Is it Alana or Elena, Penn?
I'm pretty sure it's Alana. Isn't it?
It was Elena. I thought it was Elena. That's what I thought.
It's the defensive player of the year, man. That's what it is.
It's the Co Defensive Player of the Year.
But anyway, Ron, they got this wrong. This sets a really bad precedent. And the reason why I think that the reason why this sets a bad precedent is because Asia Wilson is one of the better defensive players, not just in the game, but in WNBA history.
So Alana Smith's what's Alana Smith? Chopped liver?
And
Elena.
And that's the point that I'm making. That's the point that I'm making right there. We can't have both of them. Pick somebody. No, we can't.
29.
Tie is a tie. I don't know what to tell you.
No,
29. Democracy works.
Democracy does work, but democracy works when everybody. Democracy works when everybody votes, and then we have a majority vote. Somebody on that voting staff I think there were some people who got swayed into picking Alana. I think there's some people who got swayed into picking Asia. I'm convinced that there were some people that were on this side and came over to this side. There were some people who were on that side and came over to that side. Somebody had a better season. We both did not have the best. We both did not have the same season. That's not the way that works. Even though Alana was on the best defensive team, she had the best defensive rating. I think she was third in the league in steals. And without Fee on the floor, without Fee on the floor, they still were rolling. They still were winning games. With that being said, Asia is the anchor of that Las Vegas defense, and I think there can be a case made that she's the best defensive player in the game. But with these two women, we can't just say, okay, you were awesome, both of you take it. No, you got this wrong. Somebody was better. One of these two women was better.
If they tie, they tie.
Okay, so remember that, Mars, when we have a co-MVP, when it's Joker and Giannis.
You're the one who cares about that. I don't. If they tie, they tie. If you get the exact same amount of votes, if you get the exact same, the way it works in the WNBA, right? It's if you get first place votes, that's it, right?
Okay, if you had a vote, Joe, where's that going? You would have voted Asia.
Well, between these two, I would have picked Alana Smith. I thought Gabby was winning it, to be honest.
Okay, then you vote for Gabby, and then guess what? It's still a tie between Asia and
I would have voted for Fee. So
okay, so you guys votes means it's still a tie between those two.
Bingo.
So democracy if they tie.
But here's the problem with that, Mars. It's setting a bad precedent because when we move down,
no precedent. Everyone's votes are anonymous. They voted on their paper. 72 people who voted. 29 of them voted for Asia Wilson. 29 of them voted for Alana Smith or Elena Smith, however you say her name. 29 of them each voted. 29 conscious human beings had different opinions. And it led to two people having the same amount of votes from 29 different people. Therefore, they got the same amount of points. People. Therefore, they should both win.
50. So 50. No, it's not.
This happened in the NFL too. Remember?
That's exactly how it should work. If 29 people vote for Asia and 29 people vote for Alana,
well, but
that means they tie.
Point though, like it's it's like playing a lottery, chill, but with much higher odds of this happening. Like if you have people voting anonymously, they're not talking to each other. They're gonna, like, for instance, we were 2 votes off last year from Lamar and Josh being tied for MVP. So like some of this is just
Peyton
like
Manning? Was it Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning, Steve McNair.
They got that wrong too, because I thought Steve McNair.
How do you get wrong if you're voting like and you don't know what somebody else is voting? Like, how do you change that? Like, how would you change that on the other side? I guess, chill. Like, if we both vote and it's 25-25, and that's all the available voters, like, how would you fix that?
I think that there was somebody who voted for Alana who really wanted to vote for Asia. I think that there was somebody who really voted for Asia that wanted to vote for Alana. I think that's how this thing got.
So let's say both their votes get flipped. The person who really wanted to vote for Asia.
I don't think it was just one though, Mars. That's the difference. I don't think it was just one.
You're making up a conspiracy to say that the voting is wrong. Like you just made up a conspiracy with no evidence for the conspiracy.
I am saying that, and the reason why I'm saying that, yes, I'm 100% saying that.
Instead of just accepting that maybe they tied, you're saying there's a conspiracy.
I'm 100% saying that. I'm 100% saying that.
Joe might be right.
He might be right. That doesn't mean that it's a logical thing to come to because people had different opinions.
What was that change about the outcome, Pin? I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, Swiper.
Pin, once you know the outcome, like once the votes are in, Pin, maybe you can put a hypothetical out there. If it's 25-25, what would you do after the fact?
It isn't.
But what would you do after the fact if it is tied?
Well, okay. First of all, these voters are not sequestered. Okay, they are allowed to speak to each other. So maybe there's some idea of like, I'm voting for this person,
yes,
you're voting for this person, and we can figure out the outcome based on our votes.
Oh, like how you guys do when we do those rankings and you guys talk to each other and stuff like that? Okay, well, chill. If Mars talked me into Mars and Penn talked me into moving Wemby from 9 to 6 on my list, and that ultimately moves Wemby up to number 7 on our top 10.
Yeah,
he's still number 7 on our top 10.
Here's the difference, though. Mars actually has an agenda here, right? You don't like that guy as much as Mars does. So Mars is actually making a case for him. There are people who made a case for Asia Wilson. There are people who made a case for Alana, and there were people who probably liked Asia a little bit more than Alana. But to your point about Mars is a Wemby guy. So Mars talks to you about Wemby. Hey, Wemby's one of the best rim protectors in the game. Wemby stopping pop game. Wemby this, Wemby that. Now all of a sudden, Ron, wait a minute. maybe Wemby is better than what I think he is. Actually, when you already did all of your research, you came up with the idea.
But
that
their
Wemby isn't
research,
that good.
but chill, okay, I can come to that conclusion, and Mars and Penn can point out other facts that can then sway me, and now I can say, you know what? Maybe I was a little lower on Wemby than I should be. Maybe I should give him more credit. Maybe Wemby does deserve to win this award over this person. That can happen too. We do that every day on the panel, chill.
So
Literally, we do this every single day.
100%.
Is there a chance also
Like, watch,
that
by the end of this show, I'm going to convince you that Co DPOYs isn't that bad.
By the way, so
We do this every day.
We celebrate two people instead of one person. I'm good with it.
I just ran a simulation, chill. You can run a simulation through AI, artificial intelligence, obviously, but mostly. But this situation, it works. I ran a simulation, Mars, of NBA MVP based on a point structure of what the odds are and what the percentages are, Penn, of if the same thing could happen. If you have two people that are up, like that, front of the face for the MVP award, and then you could have a tie between 50 people. Now, the NBA is 100, so I dumbed it down to 50 to fit this scenario. So based on the numbers, chill, you have a less on a simulation with 50 individual voters. It is less than a 1% chance it happens, and the number is closer to a 0.1% chance that you would have a tie between 50 individual voters voting on a particular award. So less than 1%, closer to 0.1. So if this is just for 50. Now, Penn, now do 100, and it's, quadruple, sextuple, like it's going to get even worse. So what I'm saying is, chill, like, if anything, chill, I feel like you should be on the other side. We just witnessed a historical anomaly. And not only that, but we've seen two historical anomalies, Penn, in the last 25 years. We got co-MVP in
That's
the
a
NFL.
Bikram stretch, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
No, but Penn, think about this though. Like, if you're just running, I know, like,
we've never had a co-MVP, and to your point,
I know people in PC may not like calculus and math class and all that stuff, but just from a probability standpoint,
What are you saying about the chat?
No, I'm saying this math is not like the most celebrated subject. I didn't love math all that much either, but I just
happen to know some people from the chat.
Sure.
They happen to be math
again, you even are doing a statistical anomaly by saying Multi-Kenny and them are good at math, because then they're not representative of the larger body.
What the hell did I say about Multi-Kenny?
What I'm saying is Multi-Kenny's good at math. So what I'm saying is, if you take that, chill, basically this is a 0.0000000 chance that's going to happen, and it happened.
Yes, it
That's
did.
crazy.
So Mars, to your point, really quickly, Ron. Mars, to your point, the way we changed this, we had 29. We had how many votes? If I'm not mistaken, we had 50 votes.
Each. They had 29
Okay.
each.
So you know what we do? So now what we do is we have to make this an odd number. That way we can't tie. We have to make this 61 votes. Let's make this 59.
But chill, that doesn't change anything.
Yes, it does.
Sure it does.
No, it doesn't. Mars is about to break down. Mars is about to break down. Mars is about to break down why.
61 votes. 30 vote for Asia. 30 vote for Alana Smith. 1 vote for Gabby Williams. You have a tie.
Boom.
Still, we have a tie.
Yes, because
It ends up at 29,
the only way you could possibly change it is if they do it like the NBA, where you get 5 points for a first place vote. I don't know if it's actually.
I could get with that. That part I could get.
But then even then, the number could still end up in a tie. Like, you could still end up in a tie mathematically. The issue with ties just seems to be a North American thing. Like, you guys just don't seem to accept that things can be a draw. Like, you don't need to go to overtime because there was a draw. You don't need to have a revote because there was a draw. Sometimes people just draw. Sometimes it's a tie. Sometimes you're even. It is what it is. We move and prosper. Like, there's no issue with a tie. You guys just don't seem to comprehend the fact that there can't just be a loser all the time. Sometimes they just tie. That's it. They tied.
That's not the way.
There were losers. No, everybody else lost. They both.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, there needs to be one winner. No, sometimes 2 people win.
But we didn't have that. But I think that's where that's where the divide
Ricky
is.
Bobby logic, yo.
But Mars, to your point, when you talk about 30 people, we got 61 people, and 30 people vote for this one, 30 people vote for this, and one person vote. It's definitely an anomaly. However, more times than not, what you're telling us with a tie is that Asia and Alana in the 2025 season, we had the same season.
No, that's not what that means. That means 29 people thought Asia was the best. 29 people thought Alana was the best.
Right.
They are
So
58
of these,
different
half of these
individuals.
people thought
That does not mean that they think they had the same season, because the 29 who voted for Asia thought she was the best, and the 29 who voted for Alana
So we're
thought she
split
was
down
the
the
best.
middle. So we're split
It's
down
not
the
they
middle.
both voted
You
for
guys
Asia
think
and
that-
Alana number
you
one.
guys think she
It's the
was awesome.
29
You
people
guys think
voted
she
for
was
Asia
awesome.
number one, and 29 voted for Alana number one. If the panel right now did a best player in the world ballot, let's just say hypothetically, and 4 of us, so Real Talk, Ox, Ron, and someone else, I don't know, said
Yeah,
Giannis was the
person.
best in the world, and the
bad
other
person.
4 of us said Jokic was the best in the world. That does not mean that I think they are equal. That does not mean that Swiper thinks they are equal. We think Jokic is the best. They think Giannis is the best. They both got 4 votes, therefore tie. Is that hard to understand? Is that us saying?
Yes,
Giannis
it
Jokic
is hard to
the same?
understand, because if we're racing,
Oh.
yeah, here's why. Mars does a great job. Mars does a great
Of
job
explaining
with it.
logic. Like,
No,
my bad.
Mars. Once again, I can. So Mars, if you and I raced, I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, Swipe. If you and I raced, and we came in at the end of the race, and we both came in, and we both ran a 9.8.
That would sound about right.
981.
That sound about right.
Chill, about this like
9840.
Okay, we
9840.
We both.
Hold on.
we
I
both
can't hear
ran-
chill because Ron's yapping. What?
We both ran a 9.8. At the end of
Yeah.
that race, we tied.
40-yard dash.
What's the logic on the both of us?
Well, chill, but you know
Tied,
that
that's the
has
logic.
happened before,
But
right?
racing is objective.
And we're the
There's-
same
there's
rate.
no-
We're the same.
No, because racing is
not
objective. There's
better
an
than him.
objective time. Racing is not. Voting for
Isn't that
MVP
what-
and
isn't
DPOY
that what
is
voting is?
subjective. It's opinions. It's that my opinion is Asia was the best. Their opinion was Alana was the best. Subjective. A race is literal time. It is objective. Time is something tangible. You can see the time. If we both run 9.81, we factually ran the same race. But if we're talking about something subjective, which is voted upon, it is someone's opinion versus someone else's opinion. Therefore, it does not mean you had the same quality season. Because if I think Wemby was the defensive player of the year, and you thought Evan Mobley was the defensive player of the year, and we both have 1 vote each, and I vote for Wemby and you vote for Mobley, that does not mean that Wemby and Mobley had the same season. That means I think Wemby had the best, and you think Mobley had the best, and we ended up having a tie because we both had 1 vote. That's not the same thing as something objectively measured like time. It's not the same at all. That's
Okay,
a terrible analogy.
But
Terrible.
Chill's
So,
thinking
so,
about this
so,
like an athlete, right? He's thinking about this like an athlete, and he's thinking that the season is the race, Mars. The season is the race.
Yeah,
That
but if
every
the race
single
was
thing
voted on
that-
by an opinion, then
Right.
you're going to
And-
end up with
Okay,
subjectivity.
here's a simple
Wait a minute,
solution
see,
to this. If you
this
have
is
61 voters,
where
if you have
Mars is losing.
61 voters, right? If you have 61
Sure.
voters,
You made the
then-
one person break the
and-
tie. Yes, we
exactly.
understand.
So
That's
so
the
if
simplest
Well,
way.
that's
Yeah.
what the
It's not
by the way,
conspiracy
Pin,
or all
that's
of this other
literally
stuff
what the
that
Senate
they
is.
mean they had the same season. If you want
Right.
to solve this, yes, the 14 people who didn't vote for Asia or Lana could have then voted and then seen what the tie was. But the
And
issue
it
was,
still
what if they-
could have been a tie.
It went 7-7. Then what? So then yes, you might need an odd number of people, because then if it was 71, then it could have been 6 for Alana and 5 for Asia. Then Alana wins. Cool. If you want to break a tie that way, that's fine. Just say you can't have a tie, so the people who didn't vote for one of the two will then pick between them. Cool. I'm whatever. If you're so against ties that you have to do that, that's cool. But saying it's a conspiracy that they tied, or B that they're saying they had the exact same season, are both just, well, one is factually wrong and one is just based in no evidence. That's my point. The conspiracy is based in no evidence, and the idea that we're saying they have the same season.
Wait. How is it
That's
based
what
in
I'm
no
saying.
evidence? How is it based in no evidence when
What's
you
the
just
evidence
told
for a
me
conspiracy?
it's objective? That's why.
Well, no, but hold on, but chill,
What?
but chill. A conspiracy typically has to be like so spot. Well, I don't want to, that's Nixon Gate and all that. But like, remember, chill. Just 2 things. Remember the first thing. What I just said to Penn. Remember in the Senate, in the U.S. Senate, there's 50 seats. In case it's ever 25-25, the VP gets the tiebreaker. So if it's ever split issue on whatever the voting for the bill is, the VP then has to say, well, they're always going to vote for their party. Then they'll swing the vote, and then the entire Senate decision comes down to 1 vote. So I think the issue is that in this instance, though, when you have an even number of voters or odd number, like when you have a system where there's 4 separate people for an award, and then you have a set number of people that are voting for I think it would be literally a statistical improbability that you could be that biased to where you're leaning into a bias based on other people's opinion, when typically NBA voting has always been, and WNBA voting has always been about who do I think's had the best season based on these numbers, based on film, based on level of play, based on all this stuff. So a lot of people voted Asia in part because of the last half of the year, they thought not just offensively, but defensively, she became the best defender in the sport. And they also thought Alana had been great all season on the best defensive team all season. So I think some of this is like they went into their voting booth online, they submitted their votes, and that's what they felt within their conscience. My issue with you on the conspiracy side is it would be extremely hard to prove that there's like some overwhelming large conspiracy that these people got together to group together in order to make it a tie. Because the issue is you would have to have everybody working in succession and cohesion with each other in order to do that. But you know, even on PC, we don't even do that on this platform.
I know someone who can figure it out.
Who?
Pablo Torre.
Yeah,
Pablo Torre, hit it up, bro. I need
Pablo,
voter gate. I need voter gate. I need you to prove the court documents between all these people conspiring to rob Asia or rob Alana. I need like webs into the Cayman Islands. I need bank receipts. I need tax documents. I need all that shit, bro. Get it done.
Yo,
Pablo,
chill.
the next one.
Chill. I'm trying to figure out why this is so disturbing to you and the people in the chat who just I ran a poll who voted that this is just BS. What is the issue? I believe this is I believe this is the best thing for hold on, chill, hold on. But here's what I'm saying. Chill. How do you know that? Like what
Okay.
But they did.
Why was somebody? Why was some? But why? I'm saying no, chill. I'm saying why? If they both had DPOY caliber seasons, if they both played out of this world, if Asia was the defensive player of the year and she played up to that standard, if Elena Smith was the DPOY, she played up to that standard. That means we have two phenomenal defenders, right? If Ben Wallace and Hakeem Olajuwon both had two historical seasons, why can't they be Co DPOYs? You know what, chill? That right there, being able to have the humble, whatever you want to call it, the humbleness to give two players the same award, the humility to give two people the same award. You know what it actually does? It bigs up the league. It shows that our league is just so good that we have two players that were at that level and good enough to get DPOY. That's what it actually shows. It shows that Asia Wilson deserved her third defensive player of the year, which she deserved it. Congratulations. No, she did deserve it. She did get it, chill. She factually got it. She factually got it. And the person that got it, she deserved it because she was the best defender on the best defense in the WNBA.
Two people can't be the best.
Elena Smith was the best defender on the best defense in the WNBA. The best team in the WNBA, Elena Smith was the best defender. Asia Wilson was the best individual defender. So together, they both deserve DPOY. Split it in half, give it to them, or just give them both trophies. They both deserve it. The league is that great. They both deserved it.
I know what happened. Dion from Ohio sent him.
Anyway. I'm trying to, but chill. I want to get down to the root, like the actual root of the problem. Because again, chill. I'm always on the side of like math when it comes to this stuff. Like the odds that, like, what is actually wrong, chill, with two people based on a voting system that is inherently flawed. I think we can agree. Like it's an inherently flawed process because there's no like criteria for who's the best defensive player or who's the best offensive player or who's the MVP. It's all going to be subjective based on what I think on my approach to the game. So I'm saying if you have two people that win something in a sport because 29 people felt one way and 29 people felt the other way, what is the actual problem with that process?
Hold on. There's no way that you're going to tell me the defense is just purely, objective. We can't even agree. But we cannot agree. All of us, all five of us up here, and I'm sure all 72 voters have a different criteria. Some people think the best defender is simply the best individual defender on the best defense. Some people think the best defender is the most positionally versatile defender, someone who can guard 1 through 5 and guard everywhere on the court. Some people think the best defender is the person who had the most defensive win shares. Some people think the best defender is the leading shot blocker. Some people think the best defender is the leading steals getter. Some people think the best defender is simply the person who generates the most publicity about their defense. We can't even agree on what's valuable defensively. I think we can all sort of agree on a baseline of, okay, well, if you protect the rim and you rack up a lot of, counting stats, you're probably pretty good. But between those players, I'll give you an example. Nafisa Collier, right? What about the health? That's another one. How do you factor for someone who played 4 more games than the other person if you think they're roughly equal, but one's a little bit better? So if I think the better defender missed 4 games and the worst defender played the entire season, how do I quantify those two? Like, let's not reduce this to, well, it's just math. There's a lot of opinion baked into this too. Let's just not blanket statement it.
He said the probability of a tie is mathematical.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about.
He's not saying that the award can be decided by math.
The very math that he cited suggested that the probability of it being a tie is almost mathematical impossibility.
That's why Swiper said it's amazing.
So once again, either you view it as this is a miracle, oh my God, or you view it on the side of chill, which is to say, it's too much of a miracle for it to be accidental. That's really what we're all saying up here. And I personally don't really have an issue with Alana Smith winning Co DPOY. I really don't. And I personally believe that the same voters who voted 29-29 have it in their mind that they're already going to give Asia the MVP. And maybe they just didn't want her to win both. Maybe they didn't want her to be the only person celebrated in these 2 top awards. That's totally conspiracy, totally conjecture, totally hypothetical. I can't prove it, but it's an idea that I have.
Well, first off, so this is why I'm a little split on this, because I feel like my track record with the MVP stuff is different because I'm across sports. Last year, we saw in the NFL they gave Lamar Jackson first team All Pro,
and he didn't win the league,
and then voted Josh Allen MVP.
They got it wrong
because it was about Josh Allen and rewarding him. Not just based on level of play, but based on getting the 1 seed in the season that he had last year. So like last year, we had an example of people actually voting for Lamar Jackson based on the level of play for first team All Pro, but then rewarding Josh Allen, who made second team All Pro. By the way, so Lamar made first pin. Well, you know who Lamar and Josh Allen are, I imagine, pin, right? Like for the most part. All right, so Lamar won first team All Pro.
Out of a lineup.
Josh Allen won second team All Pro. We have never had it to where somebody that went first team All Pro in the same position lost the MVP to somebody who won second team All Pro at the same position. It just never happened. But they did it because they wanted to reward Josh for a team stat thing, and Lamar had already won 2. And so they were like, well, we don't want to give Lamar a third one, to the point that we heard in basketball, because at that point he's never been to a Super Bowl, never won a Super Bowl. So they literally like divided the awards to reflect Lamar. Hey, great job, first team All Pro. Josh, it's your time. And you played well, MVP. I'm saying that was way more egregious than this. Because this for me is more like, yeah, there are 29 people in one room said something, 29 people in another room said something. And to your point, Penn, they definitely have talked to each other. Like, I'll share when I'm a voter, I will absolutely share my opinion on like, hey, I think that Giannis had this incredible season. Boom, boom, boom. Here's why. The other person's going to tell me, hey, you know what? I think Victor would blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, cool, I respect your opinion. I'm still voting Giannis.
So you think most voters might have an issue with giving?
Can we get it?
Am I trying to hear that? What
do you say?
Voters might have an issue with giving someone a particular award 3 straight times.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, that's happened in multiple sports except baseball.
I want to first of all just applaud your ability to Euro step the tendency to go into a Jokic thing there.
You're the only one that did that just now.
No, because I saw you going there. But then I was like,
no, but that also did happen.
I was like, yes, that's
no,
why
I think I think that's such a like what I'm trying to do is really not derail. To me, that's like a empty message. Like this is complete derail. I'm trying to paint a point to chill is that in this instant though, chill. Like I think that like I understand your premise, but like what would you actually do? So it's 29-29 chill. How would you solve the problem?
Number one,
on the other side.
Okay, let's get a criteria. Let's start there. What entails the defensive player of the year? Just like the league MVP, just like the sixth man of the year, just like any award. Write down, let's get a criteria. This is what it is. Mars, you brought up a really interesting point about Evan Mobley and Wemby. So if you and I have votes on Evan Mobley and Wemby, what we're going to do is we're going to examine the facts. That's the objective part of this. What did Wemby do? And with Wemby having the amount of blocks that he had, Wemby being able to navigate screens the way he's navigating screens. That's not your opinion. We're watching this, right? We're watching Wemby navigate screens. We're watching Wemby rebound in traffic.
Deciding Wemby does that better is subjective.
Yes, it is.
You're trying to make something subjective objective, and it's never going to work. Once you just accept that all of these things are subjective, you'll be fine. MVP, who's the best? Some people view it best player on best team. Some people view it as the most impactful. Some people view it as just who plays the best. Subjective. However they determine who plays the best, subjective. However they determine who's the most impactful, subjective. Even best player on the best team can be subjective. All of this subjective. The best defender, is it the most impactful defender? Is it the most versatile defender? Is it the best rim protector? Is it the best defender on the best defense? Subjective. All of it is going to be subjective. If we go stat for stat and try to go as objective as possible, there's going to be stats that are going to favor Wemby. There's going to be stats that are going to favor Evan Mobley. How do we determine which stats mean more? Subjective. All of it is going to be subjective. You need to stop just trying to search for objectivity in things that are subjective. That's why these are voted on by human beings, and there isn't just an algorithm to determine the defensive player of the year, because it's subjective. If we just had an algorithm for DPOY, maybe there wouldn't be a tie. Maybe they would be able to pass out who's 0.0002% better on defense. Maybe they'd be able to do that. But we don't do that because we have human beings watching the games, coming to their own separate opinions. That's the whole point of this show. Why would this show even exist if we just made everything objective? There'd be no point for anyone to discuss anything. The MVP would be right every year. The DPOY would be right every year. The champion would be right every year. What is there for us to talk about? We're just going to disagree on pure facts. We can't argue with the MVP award because it's just going to be true. The MVP truly was Shea. So we can't argue with that. We can't disagree with that. It's objective. The reason that we have these conversations is because it's all subjective. It's all subjective. All of it. Every part of it is subjective.
So if that's the case, then so if that's the case, to your point, when we talk, I'm good. I'm straight.
Chill. Just
wait. Whoa. Chill. Finish the thought. I want to.
Yeah, what happened?
Chill. I want to hear the thought. Yeah, go ahead.
What I was going to say, because Mars is very much an eye test guy. Mars doesn't want anything to do with awards. Mars couldn't care less about awards. So with him wanting to do that, it's interesting that how you scoff at voting when eye tests are even way more subjective than voting. Way more. So if we're just looking, if I'm just looking at a player and you're looking at a player, we determine this guy is better than this guy. This guy is better at rebounding than this guy, according to the eye test. If we're doing that, now we take awards off the table, and now we just go and we go solely off the strength of just the eye test. Take awards off the table. How much more subjective are we going to be? Will we ever get it right? Will we ever get it right? Ever? Because we've actually gotten it right. We've actually gotten it right when it comes to the league MVP.
I've agreed with MVPs many times. And my idea on MVP is based on what I watch. And I've agreed with the MVP probably 85% of the time. I think they get it right most of the time. By right, I mean I agree with it. It's not actually right. So I agree with it. But I agree with the MVP most of the time. But the people voting are using their eyes the same way I'm using my eyes. Stephen A. Smith, who I only go to him because I know he's a voter. Like those guys, the 101 NBA voters, the 72 WNBA voters, they are doing what I'm doing. They are doing what you are doing. They are watching the game and they are putting their opinion on a piece of paper. We unfortunately don't have the cachet to do the exact same thing and put a vote on a piece of paper that actually leads to an award, but they are doing the exact same thing. And you're saying it's more objective. They're doing what we do. The exact, me, Ron, you, Penn, Swiper, we do the exact same thing. We watch guys and we say, Jokic is my MVP. Shea is my MVP. Asia is my DPOY. We do the same thing. The only difference is they put a cross on a ballot. That's it. There's no more objectivity to that. It's the exact same thing, the exact same premise, except they wear a suit and tie and talk on TV. I don't know. Like, what's the difference between them coming to an opinion and putting it on a piece of paper and us coming to an opinion and sharing it on the panel? What's the difference? No. Chill. What is the tangible difference between them coming to an opinion that Shea was the MVP this year and writing it on a ballot, and us coming to an opinion on the panel that Shea was the MVP and talking about it on the panel? What is the actual difference? What difference is there between those two things?
They got a bigger platform than we do.
Huh?
They got a bigger platform than we do. That's the difference. More people hear it than they do. Because we basically doing this. To your point, we're doing the same thing. I get that part. Yes, we are.
We're not doing the same thing. Their opinion ends up valuing these players in the Hall of Fame.
They got a bigger platform.
That doesn't make their opinions objective, is my point. It's the
No, it
exact
doesn't.
same thing.
We'll be doing our Hall of Fame here too soon too. By the way,
the point is their opinions are just as subjective as ours. That's the point. That's
In theory.
it. It's not objective because it led to an award. It's
So
still
we
a
don't have any
subjective
other-
opinion.
So do we have any objectivity at all?
In sports.
Yes, there's objectivity.
In sports, wait.
Jokic averaged a triple-double this year. That's objectively true. Shea led the league in scoring this year. That's objectively true. Those things are objectively true. Now, saying Shea's the MVP because he led the league in scoring, subjective. Saying Jokic is the MVP because he averaged a triple-double, subjective. Do you see? When you apply your opinion onto the facts, they become subjective. If I say Jokic averaged 29, 12, and 10, I think that's what he averaged, so I have correct. 29, 12, and 10. That's objectively true. He did that. You can find it on Basketball Reference. You will see that. If I say Shea averaged 32 points per game, which I think he averaged, that's objectively true. If I say Shea is the best scorer in the NBA, that's subjective. It may be able to be backed up by facts. He led the league in scoring. That's a fact. He's one of the most efficient players in the league. That's a fact. But if I say Shea's the best scorer in the NBA, that's subjective. If I say Shea won the scoring title, that's objective. Two completely different things.
And that's where the criteria comes in, because we can be more objective if we have a criteria. If we have,
what would
they have criteria, Chill.
The criteria
wins
itself
are
would be subjective.
Defensive rating is
The
a criteria.
criteria
Defensive
itself
win share is a
would be
criteria. Those are all objective stats.
Because you deciding what to value is subjective in itself. You deciding to value wins is a subjective thing. The wins itself are objective. 50 wins, 38 wins, whatever. That's objective. The amount of wins a team gets is totally objective. The Cavs objectively won 64 games this year. You deciding to value wins over box score production is subjective. That was your decision to come to the conclusion that we value that more. Subjectivity. No matter how you slice it, it's going to be subjective. Whether you decide to value stats, high test, wins, impact metrics, you deciding what to value in itself is going to be subjective. And if you try to go down the angle of, okay, why don't we just value it all equally? You choosing to value everything equally is subjective because you've chose to value everything equally. You chose to apply 10% value to stats, to the box score, to advanced analytics, to wins, to games played. You've decided to apply an equal value to everything, therefore making it subjective because you've decided everything is worth the same. There's no facts that determine that that's worth the same. You've decided it's worth the same because that's how you feel. Therefore, subjective. There's no way to go about this that will make it subjective. That's my point. There's no way to do it. It's physically impossible.
I know how to make it objective. I know how to make it objective. They both deserved it, and I'm glad they both won it. Salute to the Co WNBA Defensive Player of the Years. And here's also the thing too, fellas. I know a place where there's only one winner. One first place winner, but everybody can win. And that is in our free NFL pick'em for week 3 of the NFL season. Yes, I said free. And what is better than free? The only thing that's better than free is a free NFL pick'em on Splash Sports. Download the app or click the link in the description and go make your picks right now. You will be competing against me, some of the panelists up here, Chill, Swiper, Mars, and other people in the chat. Now, here's how this whole thing works. There's a slate of week 3 games. Once you join the competition, you will pick the winner for every single game. And at the end of the week, the person who picks the most games wins the $1,500 pot. Well, they win a portion of it. The top 25 people in that bracket we'll all be winners. So we'll have week 3 NFL pick'em winners. That's what it will be. But if you rank in the top 25, you will take home a piece of the pot, and whoever comes in first will obviously take home the most. So that's how we will determine who actually is the winner of the week 3 free NFL pick'em by Player's Choice on Splash Sports. Scan the QR code, click the link in the description, and we will see you guys in the winner's circle. I'll catch you soon.
I have a question only for Chill.
Wait,
everyone else can please
just to make sure for Splash Sports, just to tap into that. If you follow me, Ron, for the 3 pick'ems that I had, it was Bills over Dolphins. Next 2 is Packers over the Browns, and then the last one, Chiefs over Giants. So you're 1 of 1. You're already 1 of 1 if you listen. And we got 2 more coming up. I'm feeling pretty good. Chill. I subjectively am saying I'm going to be proven to be 100% right. And then it will be an objective standpoint at the end of this. By the time we get to 11:30 p.m., that Swiper indeed got 3 of 3 right and won you some money.
And by the way, you have till 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday to get all your picks in and sign up for that contest on Splash Sports. click the link in the description. Pin, the question that you have for Chill.
Yes. This is only a question for Chill. Please resist the temptation to jump this question. Chill. How close do two people have to be for you for it to be acceptable for a tie? Can they be 99%, 98%? If two people had, however you define it, a 98% similar season, is a co-rookie of the year, Grant Hill, Jason Kidd, is that acceptable? How close does it have to be?
I am not interested in ties at all. I'm sorry, Ben. I don't
Okay.
think as close as these guys were,
Okay.
I think that there was somebody who was better, even if it was
Okay.
0.1, even if it was 0.2, somebody was better on some level.
Okay.
So
cool.
Chill.
That was it.
Can we have co can we have co-winners for the the PCL King of the Court season 3?
No,
Can we do that?
no.
Well, here's the thing. And we're gonna get into that during the second hour of the show. When these guys come up here, we're actually gonna be the voters. So it's 5 of us. So it seems like it's an odd number, but Multi Kenny's also a judge too. So what if 3 of us chose Amir, Bulletproof in the chat, and the other 3 of us chose Skeet Nielsen? Then what do we do?
You'll run a poll like you.
No, I won't. They'll both get a point.
I have no problem with that. I'm just.
But Chill,
Okay.
yeah, I'm good with that. But I think voting, Chill, as somebody who's obviously been around for a while, and I think that's important for this combo. Voting has always been one of the most controversial aspects of our society for many different reasons, because it's all subjective. We have inherently, like, even just like how we vote, like in general, just in terms of public policy stuff, like we vote based on bias. And even if it's like a detriment to us or to other people, like we all vote based on bias. So like, I think the problem is that like the US, what they did to solve it was like, hey, we're going to have a popular vote. Then we're going to have an electoral college vote. And the electoral college is supposed to be the thing that anchors, us into making sure everybody's vote is represented fairly and all that kind of
Mars,
stuff.
what the electoral college is your
I know
parents
what it
going-
is. I think it's stupid.
Okay.
I know what
It's
it is.
no, Marsh,
That's
Marsh,
one.
trust me,
Yeah.
it is a horrific system. The idea that
Yeah,
like
I
a
think
state
it's
could
stupid
vote
as
one way,
well.
and there are people within the state that could tell you, Chill, that like for instance, like if you want blah blah blah, vote sure in Georgia, they can literally say, well, based on blah 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 all this stuff, we're actually going to go the other way of the
It's your
populist vote.
parents. It's your parents letting you make a decision, and if you make the decision that they don't agree with, they go, "Okay, we're going to
They
change." it.
can,
That's
they
what the
literally
electoral-
have the ability
That's
to.
what
if they want
that's
to.
what the electoral college is.
But that goes to show
But-
you though, like all
When-
voting, I think to Marge's point though, what I'm saying is subjective to a degree. I think the hard part is there are algorithms, like Marge, I always put out the basketball reference page, throughout the year about like where the MVP voting and stuff stands, because like they actually have a metric they have put in place based on prior history and based on like a statistical analysis of who wins the MVP every year. So I've used that to like buffer a lot of what I've said about where the MVP is, because Jokic has won all 5 of them. But I'm saying that like there's even a bias into like how they developed the statistical analysis, because they obviously had to include things they thought were more important than others. But I'm saying, Chill, how do you actually solve the problem of subjectivity in voting? I just don't know if that actually can change though.
It's something that's very difficult, and Mars broke it down very difficult, very very eloquently when he talked about trying to change subjectivity into objectivity. But I think that one way that we can remedy some of it, like you might not be able to get rid of the virus completely, but it might not be able to take over your body completely, where we can have facts. And with these facts, you can be objective when it comes to these facts. So, for example, as much as I love SGA, as much as I love Jason Tatum, I can't ignore the fact that Giannis was 30 and 10 last year and 6 assists. 30 and 10. I can't argue that. So now what I do when I look at what Giannis does, I look at Giannis on the floor and I look at how Giannis affects the game. Then I watch how Jason Tatum affects the game. That's where the subjectivity comes in, because now who's your favorite? Who do you like watching more? Who do you favor more? Mars and I had this conversation. Mars isn't a big fan of Luka's game. I mean, not Luka, I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of Luka's game. Mars isn't a big fan of LeBron James's game. So he may favor another guy more than this guy. That's that's subjective. But what he can't argue is that Luka was 34, 9 and 9. He can't argue that. Can't argue
All right,
that at all. So
go ahead, Chill. Finish your point, and then I gotta step in.
All I'm saying is that I feel like we can remedy some of this with the criteria, making more of these facts relevant. So to Mars's point, when you talk about wins, how about in order to be the league MVP, these are the amount of wins that you have to have before we even get you in the conversation.
Why don't we just go with defensive win shares? Asia Wilson was number 1 in defensive win shares, 3.3. Alana Smith was number 2. Gabby Williams number 3. Alyssa Thomas number 4. And Nafisa Collier number 5. I don't think anyone would disagree. Those are probably the 5 best defenders in the WNBA. There's maybe Bree Jones, Alicia Gray, Aaliyah Boston, Nneka Ogwumike. Like,
where was Gabby?
All the top 10. Gabby was 3. So I mean, and we're splitting hairs here. So playing more minutes matters, playing more games matters. Asia Wilson played 2 less games than Alana Smith, but Alana Smith played way fewer minutes than Asia Wilson in those games by 5 minutes per game. Sum total, Alana Smith played about 100 less minutes than Asia Wilson, and she accumulated 0.4 defensive win shares less. Right? You could look at defensive rating. You can look at all of these stats.
Alana Smith led the league in, by the way. Alana Smith led the league in defensive rating, by the way.
No, she didn't. 96.0 versus 96.4. So no, she didn't. So that's the point. Like it's splitting hairs. And honestly, if Nafisa Collier plays the entire season, she might be the defensive defensive player of the year because it's close.
It could have been. It probably would have been her and Elena. But either way it goes, fellas, I do have to step in. Salute to both of them. Salute to Asia. Salute to Elena. Salute to co-defensive player of the years. Also, we're not going to get into it right now, but I do want to tip my hat and give a big shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. They beat the Seattle Storm last night and advanced 2-1 in their series. And also a big shout out to the Indiana Fever. They were the number 6 seed and they beat the number 3 seeded Atlanta Dream. We'll get into these games a little later today. We'll talk about what happened in the games, and then we'll talk about the Aces matching up against the Fever next round. But as of right now, before we get into the PCL tryouts, and before we go anywhere else, I want to salute everybody that's watching this video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to Player's Choice. Make sure you become a member, and make sure you pay out all your debts. That's what honorable men do. All right, let's get into these super chats, y'all. We are in the crunch time chat segment. Let's go, y'all. The first chat I got is from Cowboy Bob. Cowboy Bob said, Mars, Steph's shot is like Kareem's skyhook. Iconic, unpredictable. He wasn't the first, just the best. He wasn't the first, just the best. The shot changed the game, but folks chase names, not the movement. Go New York, go.
Bars.
I would kind of compare Steph in general to like Kareem Skyhook, and I wouldn't say Kareem changed the game either because no one can do what Kareem did, or no one has done what Kareem did. Well, I'm not saying Steph didn't change the game. I just think he gets too much credit for it. But yeah, that's a playback conversation. We don't need to rehash out.
Yeah, to anyone who's curious, we, for the last hour of yesterday's playback, Mars and I guess a lot of us were debating the value of Steph and who changed the game. Was it Steph? Was it D'Antoni? Was it Harden? It's actually a pretty cool conversation.
Shout out to all the irreplaceable moves. Styles Blackman sent through a super chat and said, Ron, the last 3 times y'all made the playoffs, we sent you back to the Space Needle. You gonna learn some respect. All that glazing got you young and cooked. She gonna be special, just not on Asia's watch.
It was a really, really, really dumb defensive strategy, man. Shit. It was frustrating as hell to watch that, man. I want to tell you this. I was rooting for the Storm more than I'm rooting for certain dead relatives. Okay? Last night, I was like, yes, let's shock the world here. You know, this is amazing. And to watch them single coverage Asia Wilson over and over again was about as stupid as possible. I know you got this long defender, but she's 19 years old.
With a 19-year-old kid. With a kid. Oh
bro, God. she's practicing against Bam Adebayo. Dominique Malonga ain't doing shit to that jump shot. You have to get her to pass. I don't think she's a great passer.
Well, to be fair, it worked down the stretch of the game. Asia missed the last 2 shots. When the money was on the line.
She was tired.
I was about to say she was out of gas.
Yeah, you know, they get, and then the offensive rebound happened, and Jackie Young.
No, it didn't work. Making her look, the Valkyrie.
She almost
Valkyrie doubled and tripled Nafisa Collier every single time she touched the basketball. That is the strategy that I would use with Asia Wilson. I would double her, and I would stop using Malonga. Well, now the series is over, so you got an entire summer to pontificate and winter to pontificate what you should have done. But I would have used Malonga as the help defender. And she would be much better in that situation. She would be much better. I probably would have used Nneka as the primary defender. Now, I understand using your best offensive player, possibly, draining her of her energy. But, we in game 3.
Penn, it didn't matter. They wasn't passing to her anyways. Erica Wheeler running around shooting a bunch of goddamn dumbass shots. Skylar Diggins just out there dipsy doing, missing layups, wide open layups. They wasn't passing. Don't give me that look, Penn. They weren't. They legitimately weren't giving her the ball. Yes, Skylar made some big plays. Yes, Skylar made some big plays. Yes, Erica Wheeler made some big shots. They weren't giving their best player the ball. For Nneka to have 5 points at half, and for her to not shoot 15 shots in that game is criminal. Skylar Diggins, Erica Wheeler, you guys got to do better. You're supposed to be point guards. I'm sick and tired of this point guard era where guards just want to dribble around, shoot up a bunch of bullshit, and not pass the ball to their big man and the best player on the team. It just does not make sense. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get that off. I had to. No, chill. That is trash. That is trash. When you got a post scorer that is not only your best player, your most dominant player, and your most efficient player, you give her the ball, whether it's one shot on the line, whether it's the fourth quarter, whether it's crunch time, whether you're down 20, whether you're up 20, you feed the host. That's what you do. You feed the hot hand. You feed your best player.
There's too many things that, when you really go down the wire of that game, how many things could have been different. Erica Wheeler was fouled by A'ja Wilson on that jump shot she hit. She did not get an and one. They just moved on. But if you look at the replay, she's bumped on the release. She ends up hitting the shot anyway. The final shot where Skylar Diggins passes out to the left corner, I'm seeing a pass wide open to Nneka. And last I checked, she's borderline 40% three-point shooter. Hit that shot. But she passes for the mid-range shot and they miss. I don't know about y'all, but in a tough moment, I would much rather a shot come from the center of the court than the corner. For whatever reason, you have a better view of the clock. I just prefer that shot going from the middle. So there's that, plus that offensive rebound where A'ja misses that shot and they get the offensive rebound. That can't happen. That just can't happen.
Penn, you know why that happened?
Rebounder, and she's not the one getting the rebound. That's crazy.
Penn, you know why that happened? Because they did what you wanted them to do. Even though she went to go double late, she went to go double A'ja on the drive. And A'ja didn't end up driving. It was a one dribble pull up. So in Gabby's attempt to go to double her, she left Jackie Young open wide under the hoop. And you could say bad rotations and yada yada yada, but that's why, because I watched the play over and over. I'm like, how do you give up that offensive rebound? It's because Gabby went to go double A'ja Wilson.
There's a lot of things that skew your defensive rotations and skew your court balance. Obviously, doubling A'ja is not without consequence, but the consequence is that one of the most efficient scorers in WNBA history doesn't get clean looks against a fucking rookie. Like, I think that is crazy to me. I can't believe what I just watched. Like, I really can't believe what I'm just watching here over and over. There were also many times where Dominique Malunga just ran down the court and she probably should have gotten the ball and they looked her off and decided to reset the offense. Bro, she's fast. She's a bullet down the road and she can handle the basketball. Get her looks early. I feel like once again, I come down to the same thing. If y'all had a different coach, y'all win that series. I can't stand your coach. It's not the players. It ain't the roster. Yeah, there's some roster holes or whatever.
What do you think should have been? What do you think should have been? What do you think should have been?
Well,
done?
in game one, Chill, I feel like the offense was very redundant, very predictable, and quite frankly, the shot quality was just absolutely terrible. And yes, I'm sorry to use an analytic term like shot quality, but I feel like I'm looking at the Aces and they're just getting way better offense. And I don't think that it's
not just because of A'ja, by the way.
It's not just because of A'ja, because you got a lot of talent and you get like in the WNBA, to have a guard like Erica Wheeler and have a guard like Skylar Diggins, you should be able to get constant paint penetration. You should be able to get clean shots. You have two in Ezzy and Dominique. You have the abilities to create an impenetrable sort of wall defense in the paint. Like, you've got the skills here, man. You actually have the roster to build something. And I'm sick and tired of hearing that this team is bound to underperform because Skylar's old and Nneka's old. Yo, Nneka was like an MVP candidate like in the last 3 years. Like, she's good. She's like a really good basketball player. So I just feel like, make
the All-Pro team this year. I do.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I think they should give her the ball. That's what I think they should do. I think they should give her the ball.
Ron,
But-
my issue, my real quick, Ron, my issue with Seattle's offense is there is no consistency with it. Like, I'm not sure
because they don't give NECA the ball. That's
Well, that's
why.
what I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out what exactly you guys were doing offensively on a consistent basis. I knew exactly what they were doing with Asia, and it doesn't necessarily mean that Asia was going to shoot the ball. But we're not going 2-3 trips without Asia at least touching the basketball. That's not happening.
And so
He's at least
I
gonna
know.
touch the-
I know NECA's not Asia. Like, I understand that. But I also do know, and we all know, that Chelsea Gray, being the consummate point guard that she is, she's going to make sure that Asia Wilson gets the ball. Whether it's from her penetrating and dropping it off to her, or whether it's from her just saying, everybody get the hell out the way, I'm getting Asia the ball. Skylar Diggins and Erica Wheeler, they got to be better than that. I'm sorry. Like, Skylar, you are an amazing scorer. Be a point guard, though. When you have a better scorer, or when you have somebody that is just as good as NECA, you got to be more conscious of getting her the ball. Erica Wheeler, you're not her best scorer. You're just not. You have to be a point guard and get NECA the ball. It just doesn't make sense how we go through the whole fourth quarter and NECA only shoots a few shots. I would much rather her shoot every single shot than to shoot 2 or 3 shots in the fourth quarter.
I also think, like, look how many times they projected the pass. Like, NECA is sitting there trying to demand the basketball. 3 seconds go by as the point guard determines whether or not to pass her the ball. And then when you finally pass her the ball, the defense is already overloaded. Once again, this is not a NECA problem. This is not an Erica Wheeler problem. This is not a Skylar Diggins problem.
No, it's the Erica and Skylar problem.
No.
No, it can be a coach's. It could be
so
both.
inefficient that a person is standing in the post for 3.5 to 4 seconds, and by the way, she's not
open. By the way, Ron, she's open.
She is open, and by the time
She's
you throw
open,
the
Ron.
pass,
Give her the
she's
ball.
less open. But the point here is an offense is designed to throw off the defense. It's a constant chess match here. So if your offense is NECA runs on the court, NECA posts up, the guard catches up, the guard surveys the situation and then passes to NECA, I'm sorry, that's the definition of stagnant, stupid, predictable offense. I know who you're passing to, and 4 seconds go by, and oh, by the way, you throw the pass and then boom, gets tipped away. I wonder how that got tipped away.
But
I wonder how.
even throughout the fourth quarter, they only tried to dump the ball down to NECA a few times. Like, we can go back and watch the whole fourth quarter.
And
what
happened? Turnover.
Okay, but here's my thing though. Turn the ball over 15 times trying to get it to her. Then don't turn it over 2 or 3 times in the 2 or 3 times that you're attempting. No. How about you be a point guard and deliver the pass to her? I don't care if NECA's setting a screen. I don't care if she's posting up. I don't care if she's at the 3-point line. You just mentioned the last shot for the game winner when Skylar dipsy dude in the paint, got stuck, didn't know what to do, and turned around. NECA was right there wide open. She looked NECA off. I implore everybody to go watch the last play. She looks NECA off literally and passes to Gabby Williams, which the time is ticking. So in the span of her with the time ticking down, looking NECA off to pass the ball to Gabby Williams for whatever reason, it's less time that ticks off the clock and Gabby has to rush up a shot. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's a rivalry in the locker room, but NECA is our best player. She's our best scorer. She needs to get the ball. On top of that, you guys are point guards. Erica, you're a point guard. Skylar, you're a point guard. Get NECA the ball. But y'all, we got to move on in these super chats though. Cowboy Bob said, Swiper, the beef I had with you, you said, and I quote, Boston quit like you did when I pressed you. Not Tibbs. I wanted to talk about Cat's bad series, 41% from 3, but Boston series was 18%. Knicks won, but you always run. Shaking my head, go New York, go.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
He cooks you. That's what happens.
All right, y'all. Speaking of cooking, I got the perfect place for you guys to go to, so you don't have to spend all this time in the kitchen cooking. Yes, that's with Factor Meals. The cool thing about Factor Meals is you get to get your time back if you have a busy schedule or if you have fall plans, winter plans, and beyond. Factor Meals will allow you to get out the kitchen and get to doing the things that you really want to do in life. You see, sometimes I've only got a couple minutes and I have a busy schedule. I'm running from here to there, meetings to meetings, all of this good stuff. But Factor helps me eat smarter with tasty chef-prepared meals that are diet dietitian approved, delivered right to my front door, and they are ready to heat and eat in just minutes. So I get even more ways to get fit and eat real meals whenever and wherever the day may take me. Factor Meals has more variety. They have more meals. You can choose from a wider variety and a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. Factor Meals will support your wellness goals, and Factor Meals has global flavors that you can savor. On top of that, 97% of customers say that Factor has helped them live a healthier lifestyle. So not only do you feel the difference, but you get healthier meals no matter your routine. We eat Factor Meals. You should do the same thing just like the panel. So here's what you need to do. You can eat smart at factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off and use code playerschoice50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code playerschoice50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready to heat and eat meals delivered right to your doorstep with Factor Meals. And then after you get full and eat, then it's time for you to get in the game, and the best way to do that is with the Gametime app. Basketball fans, step aside until October. I'm talking to the football fans right here and right now. I know you guys want to get in the game, and I know you want to get tickets, but have you ever tried to grab tickets from one of those ticketing apps, and then boom, at the last second they tack on an extra $60 in fees when you get to the checkout screen? Yeah, well, that's not the case with Gametime, and that's why I use Gametime for NFL games, MLB games, WNBA games, NBA games, all of the above. You see, Gametime, what you get is what you see. They show you the full price up front, no shady surprises, or no BS on the back end. And here's the clutch feature that can literally save you a bunch of time and save you just regret, is you can literally see your seat in the app before you buy it. So when I grab my tickets to, well, when the Seahawks beat up on whatever team they're going to beat up on at our next home game, I know exactly where I'm going to be sitting. So what you need to do is download the Gametime app, use our code, the panel's code, PLAYERS, for $20 off your first purchase. That's right, $20 off when you use code PLAYERS. Don't miss out. The Gametime app, legit tickets, lowest prices guaranteed, and no stress at all. Get in the game with Gametime. All right, fellas. Before we get into this PCL tryout, and before we figure out who are going to be the last two contestants on Team Swiper and on Team Jordan for September 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we gotta show some love to the people that actually watch the show, the people that participate in the comments and all of that good stuff. So I got the top 5 comments of the week. Then we gonna get into these PCL tryouts. Let's get into it, fellas. Let's see what the people had to say about all the good things that we talk about here on the panel. All right, fellas. The first comment that I got for everybody is from Lindy City C, or LNDY City C, however you pronounce your name. Episode 643, LNDY said, Swiper, Penn, and Mars, the triangle offense of unethical yapping.
I'm pretty sure his name is Indy City. I think that's just spelled wrong. But I've seen him before. I think his name's Indy City.
Shout out Indy City.
Yaps the last 2 days have been ethical. Shout out WNBA. Shout out voting probability.
Mm-hmm. And shout out Ron's ad reads and the transitions. I think your transitions are better than Noel Quinn's adjustments.
I don't know if that's a compliment or I'll take it for what it is.
It's a backhanded compliment. It's an insult to both of you. Okay.
Damn. Shout out to the transitions and shout out to Noel Quinn. Mars, you don't have anything to say about this?
No. That's
all right. Next comment of the week is from Chris Weber Stan. Shout out to Ox's burner account. Episode.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's Ox's burner account. I don't think he is.
Episode 644. Chris Weberstan said, another dub episode. Love the PC community. Dub Ron, Dub D Lee, Dub Pin, Dub Mars, Dub Ox, Dub Chill. Sending love and positivity to everyone reading this. Great to hear from D Lee showing the formula. Need to have him on the show more. Everyone have a great day. Spread positivity.
Go to hell.
Go to hell. Why? What happened?
I don't think you read his other comments.
Maybe he's a changed person, Pen. Maybe
He's not a
reformed.
changed person. He's not a changed person.
You don't know that.
That is possibly, and this is saying this is a crazy thing coming from me. That is possibly one of the most toxic, unapologetically objectionable, racist people in the PC community. That is a really gross individual. If he believes even half the shit that he is writing in some of these comments, and some of it has been directed at me, but some of it has been directed at other people, you are ridiculous. Bro, if I had to actually tell you what I actually thought about you, I'd get canceled so fast.
Well,
Yeah,
technically-
we might need to vet some of these comments.
Yeah,
of the
we
week,
don't-
'cause that
yeah,
that comment looks fine, but as someone who reads the comments in the chat, we shouldn't be platforming anything he says. Respectfully.
Yeah, like the super chat.
Chris Weberstan. So
Yeah,
Chris Weberstan. That was a
said,
front.
He said some of the most outlandish things in the comments, but that comment there is cool. But he said some things. That
Some all money ain't good money.
Okay.
yeah,
shout out to
especially since he ain't paying for shit. Like he shouldn't. We shouldn't be platforming that, in my humble opinion. So whoever comes up with the top 5 comments of the week,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you want to go ask Penn or me or Jordan, whoever's in the comments consistently, if these people are,
Yeah,
I don't wanna say
JD, if you
balanced,
listening,
but, you know,
ban that troll. Ban him.
because he's not. Yeah.
And JD, if you're listening, we just got another Hall of Famer. He goes by the name of R. Wade. R. Wade, here's the thing, buddy. I'm assuming you became a Hall of Famer because you want to try out for the PCL.
He did. Yes.
Well, check it out, buddy. You have like 15 minutes to not only DM the Player's Choice account, get on Telegram, and sign our contractual agreement so I can send you the link. So, like, do that right now. Cheerio, if you're watching, please get him onboarded as soon as possible. R. Wade, here's the thing is, even if, like, let's say everybody has 4 points, I'll still get you in, and you're just going to have to go on a run and potentially, maybe, hopefully, reel off 5 straight to be able to get into the championship. But we'll have to see. R. Wade, I hope you can get it done, buddy. I'm on your side. Cheerio. Be waiting for that DM. The next comment of the week we got is from... Here we go. Don 31311, episode 646, said, I wonder what Penny Hardaway would look like in today's game.
A better version of Cade Cunningham. That's Cade Cunningham said better.
That's disrespectful.
If I say what I want to say, she'll gonna call me. a
I
madman.
see the vision. Yeah, I see the vision. Way better than Cade, but I see the vision.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I
What-
see the vision.
That's what I'm looking at.
A
And
fully
what-
actualized Josh Childress. Shout out to my dog.
Josh Childress is my man, by the way.
Josh was, I thought Josh was gonna be an all-star. I mean, I thought he,
Josh Childress, that's my man. He actually, we literally had that conversation yesterday, Ron, about guys going overseas. Mars was talking about taking the bread. Josh Childress did that in the middle of his career. He went over to Greece for $20 million because Atlanta was fronting on the bread. Yeah, he actually did that. It was at the year 4. He was in Atlanta. It might have been Olympiacos, but I know it was either Olympiacos or Panathinaikos. One of those teams. They put a 3-year deal for $20 million on the table. Atlanta didn't match it. He was like, "I will catch y'all dudes."
It was Oli. He went to Oli.
He did go to Olympiacos.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
"I will catch y'all dudes later. Take care." So, yeah, I think that's who I'm looking at. Big
R. Wade
guard,
has sent the DM.
athletic. Big
Sorry.
guard, athletic, could get to the rim. If you can imagine Cade Cunningham as a better mid-range shooter, as a better pull-up shooter, that's what I think. That's what I think Penny Hardaway will be today. And I think he's better than Cade too.
Shout out to Penny. What do you guys top 5 point guard?
Yeah, I think so.
I can
Top
give you
3?
that. Yep.
I mean, I could make an argument he'd be right behind Luka in this year at his prime.
Yeah, it's like, how do I feel about Steph at this moment in time? So I'd
How
probably
you feel about Brunson?
he's better than everyone not named Luka, Shea, and Steph for me very easily. It's just whether or not I feel Steph is still that guy, which he might be. So I don't know. He's three or 4 for me, probably.
Sounds like a top 5 league guard to me. Yep.
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
get with that.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely get with that.
Our way.
He would have lucked into playing with Wemby, just like he lucked into playing with Shaq. Shout out to my dog.
Our Wade, you better hurry up. Your time is ticking, my friend.
You already sent it.
All right,
sent
I'm just
the
making
DM.
sure. I'm just
Being
making
good
sure.
ain't good enough, Swiper. I mean, we all get. I mean, it's not a coincidence. I don't.
Your luck.
Well, it actually is a coincidence.
Now
And
you want to talk
actually is
about
luck.
rig?
I
want to.
I'm rooting for R. Wade right now. He coming in. He became a Hall of Famer literally with 1 minute to spare. Like he did it the last one. I'm rooting for him.
Our Wade, what platform did you send a DM on?
That type of
Yeah,
procrastination.
drop it in
sounds
chat.
nice,
Chill, just
right?
to make time while we're stalling a little bit.
DM to Instagram.
That was probably if you ask me and you want to look at the last time like a draft might have been truly rigged, it was the back-to-back number 1 overall picks that they got, essentially.
With the Orlando Magic.
Yes, that's
interesting.
That was beyond like feasible. Could remember at the time, I don't know pin members. Shaq was, I think Orlando had like less than 3% odds to get the number 1 overall pick. I think they jumped 10 or more spots.
They just missed the playoffs. They literally just missed the playoffs.
And then they somehow jumped to get like, the 2 best players.
What Atlanta did. It's basically the same thing that Atlanta did when they got the number 1 pick when they got Ricochet. So,
okay.
Yeah, that draft was rigged too. Desirable prospect, Zachary Ricochet.
Well, to be fair, if Ricochet pops off, then that's going to be very nice. Him and Jalen Johnson for the.
He looked good in Eurobasket from what I saw.
There were like 4 potential options for the first overall pick when Ricochet went number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm sick and tired of people reverse engineering and acting like the first overall pick was clearly the best player. We just had this conversation on the PCL, like on.
Who said that he was?
I mean,
did somebody tell you that he was? I'm saying.
I was very against Ricochet going number 1. I'm not saying that's going to age well.
People said Reed, people said Ron, people said him, people said Steph Castle, some people were saying Donovan Clingan. There were like 6 different options.
I said Ron Hollins.
Well, I did say Ron, yeah. So Ron,
gosh.
yeah. So I mean, like all those players were viable. So them winning the first overall pick or Zach Ricochet ending up being good has nothing to do with whether or not to draft.
Now, can you imagine no pin? It would have been overkill at this point, but could you imagine Donovan Clingan being there with Trae Young at number 1 overall? How great that duo would have been, especially with his ability like as a roller and all that, like in defensively, and then him and Jay Johnson and then all like they're already going to be really good. But if they had Clingan like Clingan and Kristoff,
but Clingan actually works.
Can you imagine Steph Castle?
Is,
can you imagine Steph Castle there with
the problem though?
That would be crazy, but then that'd be a lot of guards.
You just said it though, Swiper. The problem is that Atlanta that actually should have been the pick. They didn't have the nuts to do it though.
With Castle?
That should have been it. No, it should have been Clingan, but they ain't had the nuts.
To be fair, so that's what I'm saying. I loved Clingan.
I did too.
He was not projected number 1 at all in any of those formats that I saw. At least I'm saying that Clingan was like, he's and the thing with Trae. If Trae has never played with a center that big, and I think having a center that big and that great of a rim protector already with real offensive skills.
Well, now he has one.
I'm talking about like the.
No, I had Clingan. I just don't think Clingan should have been number 1. But I had Clingan. I think I had Clingan going to Portland. The only pick that was like, oh my god, was when Charlotte took Tijan Salon. I hated that pick.
Did any of you guys have Jacoby Walter in the lottery? Curious. Nobody?
No, I had him.
Not even you, Swiper?
I had him
Baylor guy, and you didn't have him lottery? Damn.
I wasn't very high on
Jacoby.
Wasn't
the same
Jacoby
as some of those
impressed
other
me
dudes.
as a rookie. I wasn't as high on Jacoby.
Yeah, he's
I
better.
had Dalton Connect. How many comments you got, Ron? That was 4?
That was 3.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ron.
I'm working diligently behind the scene to get my man R. Wade up here to cook you Hall of Famers in the back. Hello, Football Breakdown. Hello, Small Boxes. My man Skeet Nielsen. And y'all know who this is. The infamous Bulletproof.
I can already tell you Jordan is going to pick Skeet Nielsen.
Shout out to Ski Nelson, man. He be showing love on my channel as well. Shout out to him.
To
be fair, most of the Hall of Famers be showing love.
Are y'all gonna be the Utah?
Utah. Next comment.
Utah Mountaineers.
Utah Select.
All right, so the next comment I got is from not this one, but I did want to just shout out Unethical Yapping again.
You mean the one you already read, Ron?
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out Unethical Yapping again. The next one is from Joey Buck 12. episode 643. Joey Buck said, bigger what if? A Joel fully healthy career or Shaq 75% from the line?
Why
Why
would that
stop
be a
there
what
with
if?
Shaq?
Well, one's a bigger what if because one is like out of Joel Embiid's control somewhat. Shaq could have shot 75% for the free throw line.
Could you?
Like,
Underhanded?
you just shoot the free
Underhanded?
those and make them 75%.
Well, I don't know if he.
Look at those
physically
Joel
hands,
has the
Embiid
bro.
can't get
ability to-
Joel Embiid can't get a new body. Like
Right.
he's got what he's got. Any player
Wait,
can improve.
Shaq should have gotten hand reduction surgery.
Should have
Why
just made.
That's what it would have taken.
It was
That's
upstairs.
what it.
was in-
But if
I don't
Shaq shoots
know.
75% from the
You
line,
think so, Chill?
I'm
It was
pretty
mental?
sure he's the best player ever. So.
Yeah, because then you couldn't do the hack a Shaq.
Meanwhile,
you never-
Embiid fully healthy isn't. So like Shaq, I think would be better. But the bigger what if I think is always going to be the health related.
Now, if
Yeah, you
Embiid was healthy, so that means 21 was still would have happened because I just think he played horribly. 22, what year?
Oh
was
yeah,
that?
just ignore. it.
I'll give you a
22
better what if than
Who
both.
do they play in 22, Mars?
If Shaq stays
They
motivated
lost
and
to-
and
was
in
it Miami?
shape,
They lost to in 22.
that's a bigger what if to me.
In the first round?
That come around. No, they beat Toronto in the round one, right?
Oh yeah, they
They
beat
lost
the-
to
the-
Miami in
the
East
second round,
semifinals.
that's
when
right.
That's when Jimmy
And then
Butler went off.
23 they lost to Boston. That was bad.
But Embiid,
24
but
they
to be
lost
fair,
to the Knicks.
Embiid had 3 straight 30-10 games and then had a really bad game 7, so he was healthy-ish, but whatever. But
No,
yeah,
he wasn't healthy. He just play. He can just play.
Yeah, play
okay
through it, right.
considering the
if he was
circumstances. He's
healthy
not
this whole
close to
time, I think they could have won. They could have went to the championship last year.
If the
24
Raptors
would
were
have
healthy,
24 would have been an interesting one. They would have probably lost to Boston, but that would have been interesting.
if the
just to
Raptors
see.
were healthy
Pen,
in
you-
2022, they would have knocked the Sixers out. It was
Pen,
a
you never heard
6-game
my-
series. Fred was out. Gary was out for the first few games. Scotty Barnes got injured in game 1. Okay, a lot of things had to go right for them to get out of the
Like
first
luck
round.
to me. Sounds like luck to me.
Yeah, there's always luck involved in the playoffs.
Yeah, so
I mean,
if
y'all-
you're turning injury sliders off for Joel Embiid, I need injury sliders off. For
Okay,
the
I'm
Raptors
turning
as
injury
well.
sliders off for Jamal Murray. They for sure win in
It's just what happened.
2022.
Like we
There we
talk
go.
about injuries being off for one person, and all of a sudden the whole league just
Yeah, that's
doesn't
what I'm saying. I was trying to keep
Here's
it
the
in
thing,
beat.
Just
like to
ruining
me,
the whole fun of
to
the
me, the
hypothetical.
biggest what if between these two players is simply put: if Shaquille O'Neal stays super
Yes,
locked in terms of being in shape and manages to work with Kobe, because I feel like if he was in shape, I think half the beef between Kobe and Shaq goes away. If he's coming in locked in, every single training camp, like championships, yo, Kobe, you're a psycho. I'm right there with you, right? You're in the gym. I'm in the gym. I'm working on the free throws. I'm working on all this stuff. Maybe the free throw thing gets like 5-6% better by him just working a little bit harder on it. But if he takes fewer weeks off, there's a very different Shaquille O'Neal, in my opinion. Again, chill. No disrespect intended here. But like
No, we showed
partying
you-
a week straight before the Houston finals, that thing, take that out. Let's just change your mindset towards how intense you got to chase this. Because I feel like, he had I'm not trying to psychoanalyze Shaq here, but like he had a goal to become one of the greatest bigs of all time. And when he achieved that goal after those first 3 championships, I feel like he sort of let his foot off the metal. And I'm like, did someone tell him that he could actually be the GOAT? Like, did someone tell him he could actually push Michael off the throne? Because he was right there, man. If he had 8 championships, that's why I say it's possible to underachieve and still be an all-time great. If you don't have Shaq top 10 all-time, you're insane. But he
That's
could have
what
been
Moss
number
says.
1. He really could have been. I'm saying it fully. He could have been number 1. I don't even think
Argue
2000 Shaq is close to the best version of Shaq we could have seen. Some people say he's the greatest player of all time.
We've seen him in shape. We saw him in 2000 get in the best shape that he's ever been in. And I actually thought that year he got to Miami, he was in the best shape that he had ever been in. That was the best shape that I ever seen him in when he got to Miami. That was the year he came in second to Steve Nash in league MVP votes. But yes, Penn. Yes, it was 100% upstairs. Have you ever heard the story? Have I ever told you
Shaq shooting
that
free throws on Miami.
Have I ever told you that story, Penn?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so and this is not going to be long-winded. Really quickly, Moss. In 2006, in the NBA Finals, we're in Dallas. It was the night before Game 1, and Shaq bangs on the door. Boom, 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 boom. He says, "Oh, let's go shoot some free throws." And we do this all the time too, by the way. Shaq's always in the gym shooting free throws. We go down to Southern Methodist University. We shooting some free throws. It's 100 free throws. I'm going to shoot them in increments of 10. Spo's on the other end of the floor. He's not the head coach yet. He's working down with Dwayne Wade. So we're shooting in increments of 10. And it's a routine. It's 2 dribbles, pause, shot. So he's going 8 for 10 from the line, 9 for 10, 7 for 10. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, yo, this dude is making free throws. We're going to destroy these dudes. Just so you know, the next night when they played him, he went 1 for 9 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
1 dribble, shot, 3 dribbles, shot. And I'm watching this. I'm like, we didn't go over any of this. What's going on? And it was right then and there that I recognized that it was upstairs. It wasn't anywhere else.
It's
but upstairs.
not entirely.
Shot
upstairs.
29% for the series. By the way.
Very, very briefly, can I just explain why?
He was 2 for 17.
Why
in the
I
first
believe
games,
Shaquille
Monster.
O'Neal and very
Trash.
many people miss free
Garbage.
throws. When you practice free throws, and I say this as a jump shooter, okay? I say this as someone who practiced my jump shot 3 hours a day for years, okay? When you practice shooting in an open gym, in an open park with no moving parts behind you, your brain learns to train into the basket very differently. And the minute you add fans spilling drinks, people moving around behind you, people screaming at you, especially on the road, there's road home differentials between free throw shooting for certain players. It completely changes the optics. Some people think I can just block it out. You can't block it out. It changes how you see. So when you look at the rim in an open gym, it's way easier to focus exactly where you're supposed to put the basketball than if you got like in a stadium, a big stadium, a bigger stadium, bigger moment, playoffs. Every moment the moment rises. So in order to offset this, I think people need to play with digital screens behind them.
Well,
it sounds crazy, but if you're in an open gym, if you have the ability, and I'm telling my boy who just launched a really great training facility, and they're implementing this. They put an LED wall behind the basket and put different sensations across it. So
then I was doing that. I'm
I'm
standing underneath the basket and I'm doing that. I'm doing this, by the way.
But you're just one person and you're predictable. You're not unpredictable. Someone spilling their drink is unpredictable. Someone taking off, their shirt is unpredictable. Someone flashing Shaq and getting kicked out of the stand, that's unpredictable. All these things are unpredictable.
But with that being said, though, I've seen him go to the free throw line and knock down 12 free throws in a row. I was at Game 3 in Western Conference Finals in 2000. We went 12 for 12 from the free throw line. So it's clearly upstairs. It's obvious that it's upstairs. It's nothing else.
Sure. Ron, you muted.
It would work, Ron, if you could turn your microphone on. That'd be great,
better?
Ron. That's great. That's perfect.
That's cool.
Ron. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. It looks like my man R. Wade is joining in the background right now. We got 7 people that are going to participate today. Bulletproof, or you guys know him as Amir. Or Amir, you guys know him as Bulletproof. However, M-Tail as well, Jason Grillionaire, Skeet Nielsen, Daniel Boxes, or Small Boxes. I don't know if you guys haven't met him yet. He'll be up here soon. Football Breakdown. If you remember Open Gym, you know Football Breakdown. And then we'll all get to meet a person by the name of R. Wade. Or maybe he goes by another name. I don't know. We'll see when he or she gets up here. But we have one more comment of the week. And this comment of the week is from Sammy Smart Wishek. Sammy Smart Wish. 3-1.
Maybe that. Sammy Smart Wiz Child. How about that?
Sammy Smart Wish Child. 3184. Wish Child on episode 646 said, I just did some advanced analytics of my own. Over the last 2 weeks, episodes hosted by Ron have gone over 3 hours by an average of 21.2 minutes. Keep going, Dub host. Wow, the ones hosted by Swiper and Ox have gone over by just 5.4 minutes. This is not even considering intangibles like way better flow of conversation, covering all topics, etc. In short, L. Ron.
Sounds to me
This
like
is also not factoring in that many times Ron does not read the 199 super chats and these other hosts do.
sounds like Ron Vorp is sounds like Ron Vorp is in the toilet.
Y'all don't want overtime?
Yeah, sounds like Ron Vorp.
No, really.
All right. All right. I'll start ending the show right at 3 hours. Y'all got it. Did we read this one?
Isn't that wasn't that the idea? That's
As
that's
long
why-
as,
He did it
you've
this
done
week.
everything that needs to be done.
Yes,
I think
that's
what
the
we
idea.
prefer, Ron.
Didn't he do
Yes,
it this
Ron,
week?
That's the idea.
Yeah, Penn, I did do it this week. So now my time has went all the way down.
That's not how math works, but okay.
I'm talking about for the week.
Oh,
But either way it goes, R Wade is connected with 2 devices. I don't know. R Wade, the time is here, R Wade. So if you can get it together, you get it together. If you don't, then my man Jason Grillionaire just cook everybody in Hail Advance. But here's how we're gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, you know we have the PCL King of the Court. And we know that next week we have the first round. That's Friday, September 26th. The following week we have the semifinals. And the week after that we have the finals. We do know that we have 4 teams. Team Chill, Team Ox, Team Swiper, and Team Jordan. But the thing about it is, a couple members weren't able to participate. And they had to drop out. Team Swiper lost a member. And Team Jordan lost a member. So they both need one more panelist to join their team. And that's why we're doing tryouts with our Hall of Fame members. Now, I gave you guys the list of names. This is the order that it's going to go in. Bulletproof, Skeet Nielsen, Daniel, Football Breakdown, R. Wade, Jason Grills, and MTEL. It is going with who's been the longest Hall of Fame member. So that's how we rocking. So another thing, chat. I have a good list of topics, but what I need you guys to do is send in topics as well. Make sure it's an open-ended topic, or it at least, it can have 2 sides to it, but if it's open-ended, that'll work a whole lot more. I'll work with reeling in some of you guys' topics if they're good topics. I'll also work in my topics, and we are doing the first. I initially said first to 5. We're gonna do the first to 4 though, because we may be running short on time, and I want to make sure that we get everybody that's in here an opportunity to win. So once again, the first 2 people we're gonna rock with is Amir and Nielsen. You guys each are gonna get 40 seconds. In the panel, we are going to vote on who it's gonna be. Amir, you've been a Hall of Famer for longer, so you're gonna go first. Before you go first, what's going on, Amir? How you doing?
I'm fine, but have I though? I think I've been a Hall of Famer for like a month. Anyway.
No, you've been a member for 13 months though, so you take the cake, my friend.
Damn, it's a long time.
All right, yo, how do you actually say your name?
Okay, Hjalmar Skyt Nielsen. That's how you say it.
We need a
nickname.
We got a nickname. Skeet Nielsen.
You can do that. I usually just, my American friends call me Yal Money.
It's
Money?
It's Yenman. How you pronounce it? Yenman?
Hjalmar.
Like Yeltma.
Yeah, Hjalmar.
Okay. Is that what you prefer to be called?
Yal Money.
He prefers to be called Yell Money.
Okay. Yell Money?
Yes, sir.
Can I call you Skeet Money?
No, my God. Call me
what's your nationality, brother?
I'm from Denmark, but I play American football over here.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Dope.
Where you located at?
It's called. It's the next biggest city after Copenhagen. It's called Aarhus.
What position do you play? Football?
Oh, I play safety and cornerback.
Cool, bro. You should definitely come to the press box sometime, man. Yeah, shout out.
No
He's
idea.
not talking about that
that
kind of football. He's playing the other football.
No, he said. He
said American football. He said
American
you
don't
football?
be listening.
That's
bro.
why I was surprised. Yeah, that's why.
My man Penn don't be listening.
Yeah,
He
see?
literally specifically said American football.
And safety's not a position in real football. So
you got cooked twice,
Actually,
3 times for not listening.
Safety is. Yes, it is. It's called the goalie.
Yes, it is, Mars.
Yes, it is.
Safety's not a real position.
Yes, it's called the goalie. That's the
goalie is called a goalie.
Yeah, but they the safety though. But anyway,
no, they're the goalie.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, each of you guys got 40 seconds. Amir, it's on you first. Chat, I need you guys to send me topics, good topics that you would like for people to debate. But the first topic is going to be a simple one, and it's going to be an easy one. In 2025, in the next upcoming season, who is going to win MVP? Amir, it's on you. You got 40 seconds. And then J Money is on you. And then we'll get to the next person. Let's get into it.
Answer first to make sure where is the timer? Where's the timer?
No. So here's the thing, just to clarify some rules. And this is how King of the Court works. Amir, since he's going first, so it's advantages to going first and it's advantages to going second. To going second, you get the rebuttal. You get to basically pick holes in a person's argument. Going first, you get to choose who you want to choose.
Oh
So,
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
So, Amir, it's on you, whoever you choose, and however you want to do it, but you got 40 seconds.
Yeah, where is the timer though?
Got it
The
right
timer
here.
is there it is.
Wow. You
So-
don't even gonna get to see. Yeah, you're gonna have to eye test your timer.
No, there is no way I'll get to ITIS. Where is?
Oh,
We can pull up a tab.
Chill,
Ron,
chill,
Ron,
chill. Are you gonna
let me
hold it
know.
up, Chill?
I got you. Let me
Ron,
know.
we can
Let me
also
know when
pull
it's
up
on.
tab.
We unprofessional. Oh my
Nah, we don't have it ready. It's not gonna be ready till next week.
You want me to do this every single
Let
time?
Hey, we rocking how we rocking today, y'all. Hey, this is literally the tryouts. It's not. It's not the actual game, y'all.
We in the trenches, man. We in the trenches.
Hey, if you make it out the tryouts, it'll be more structured next week. Hey, I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry, Football Breakdown. MTL, I know you've been a part of the real thing, but hey, this is what it is. We playing on the blacktop today.
Who's gonna hold it? So
Nah, this real
Chill.
hoops today. This real hoops.
Chill,
Chill, you gonna hold it up?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I got you.
There
Yes,
you
sir.
go.
I got you. And you don't need to see the. And are we ready? Let me know when we're ready.
okay, because I'm zooming into your camera. because-
Okay. That's
Nah,
fine.
he wants somebody to hold it up, Chill. So can you
That's
hold it
fine.
up?
Just let me know when we're ready. I will start it, and I will hold
All
it
right.
up to the camera.
Yeah,
I got
just hold it up before you start it, so I can.
you. Okay. So we have 0-0 right now. We have 0-0 right now.
All right. The
All
time
right.
starts when you start. Let's go.
All right, so the MVP next year is going to be Nikola Jokic. And the reason it's going to be Nikola Jokic is simply because he's the best player in the world. So being the best player in the world means you have the highest chances, especially if you have a good team, a proven team, a team that usually ends up in the top 4, top 5. So in order to have someone else win it, they need to be historic. Yes, last season, Shea. Before that, we had Embiid. Years before that, we had Giannis, but they were historic. And Giannis also has a chance, but his team is too weak. So if Jokic and Giannis are the two best players in the world, then the one of them with the better team, the more proven team, the healthier team, the team that usually gets more wins, the team that's usually more consistent, is obviously going to have the
Time.
highest chance.
Time.
Amir, you've been muted. It is on you, Joel Money. Go ahead, take it away. Your time starts when you start.
So I think next year's MVP is going to be Luka Doncic. He has obviously the narrative on his side of going from Dallas to LA with everyone, which everyone disagreed with. So the voters are really going to like if he really balls out. We've seen him get skinny this season. Like he's really motivated to put up a lot of stats, and we know voters like stats. He's in a very big market in LA, which will help him. You know, Lakers bias is all over there, so that'll definitely help him get some votes. And he'll just be in the talking conversation all the time, whereas Jokic might be away because he's in Denver, where the Los Angeles Lakers are always just a talking point. So he'll get votes from that.
Time.
All right, fellas, it is on you guys and Multi-Kenny to vote on who we believe won this first round. Chill, who you got?
I thought Amir made a good point about being the best player in the world and having a top 5 team. I don't think the Lakers are going to have a top 5 team in the Western Conference.
Swiper, remember, these are objective votes, not subjective.
We're
who do you
voting
got?
out loud, so we could really manipulate these votes. But
Swiper, who you got?
I mean, I thought the narrative point was important because I think that's obviously works for Luka and all that. I think the team stuff, the proven stuff for Jokic is there. I'll probably lean more towards Amir there because I think the narrative, could work out in Luka's favor. So I'll vote for him in that stand.
For Amir?
Amir didn't say that. Amir didn't say that.
Oh, sorry, Amir. Sorry.
Y'all
money.
narrative.
Yamar,
Yeah,
right?
y'all.
Okay, y'all money. I'll give it to y'all money.
Mm-hmm.
Mars?
I think both made good arguments. They both approached it from different angles. I think I'm gonna go with Amir because he spoke. Actually, no, I'm not gonna go with Amir.
Damn,
Young Money did the same thing. I was gonna say Amir did. They both spoke about, and because he could refute Jokic. I'm gonna go with Young Money because I think bringing up the narrative stuff is always gonna be relevant in MVP conversations, whereas Amir kind of went with like the sanctity of the awards and like being the best player in the world, holding more weight. But I think we kind of all know how much narrative plays a part in it. at this point, and then bringing up the Lakers market and how he's going to be on TV a whole lot and how he's going to be at the center of attention was something that I'm going to slightly lean towards Young Money with.
Both good arguments.
Sorry, man.
Pin?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight. Y'all both pretty much made terrible arguments. I'm just be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Amir, I was pulling for you, bro. Like
Y'all both suck.
You went up on playback with
both
us,
were garbage.
but then you said that Jokic, that Embiid won a year before. Shea won last year. Embiid won the year before. That is factually untrue, my friend. Jokic won the year before. Yes, Embiid won in 23.
I don't think he said the year before. I don't think he said.
I'm pretty sure he did, but if I'm wrong,
I'm
tell
pretty
me.
sure
Anyway,
he said before that.
regardless of it,
Before that, but okay.
Regardless of it. Okay,
Other
well,
than
I gotta go listen back because y'all know I don't be listening anyways. But here, anyways. So between the two of you, though, I have to say Y'all Money got it for me. While I agree with Amir more that Jokic probably has a better chance than Luka, I think Y'all Money's bringing up the fact that there's more attention, the market that factors in more to how the voting actually works. But I wish y'all had brought up team success a little bit more. I wish y'all had brought up like how they'll be used and stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well, Y'all Money, you have won. The next person up is Football Breakdown. Yo, what the? Swiper.
However you want to adjust that. However you want to adjust. You can adjust it.
We're not going to be able to do it because it takes up the full screen.
Okay.
All right. Chill, you got the timer? Football Breakdown, what's going on?
What's good?
How you living?
Hey,
I'm all right.
First of all, football. What's up with that hat? You look like we about to go get a lick, yo. I got the car outside. Which bank we going in front of? Which one we going to rob?
If it's not Swiss, I'm not going. So
Okay, because that's what my dude look like. I got the plan together. We going to rob a bank. My dude look wow right now. So let me know what we doing.
All right. The next topic that I got is who's the most overrated player in the NBA.
Oh, this is easy.
Y'all Money, you won, so you're going second. Football Breakdown, you're coming on stage. It is on you to kick things off today, right now.
the most can I think about it?
Hold on, wait. Reset the time, chill. Give him a second. Give him a second.
From the top.
All right, you got 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Chill. Start that time.
Of course it's Jokic. Of course it's Jokic. Let's go over it, right? Greatest offensive season of all time. Got outplayed by the guy who's not a dual playmaker. Shea had more points, more assists, higher true shooting against him head-to-head. And this is the greatest offensive season ever, and he can't replicate his playmaking ever in the playoffs because his playmaking, unlike other elite playmakers of all time, is more dependent on the defense, what it's not doing, and he can't create advantages to create collapses to create advantageous situations for his teammates more consistently than these elite playmakers. But yeah, he's put in this tier that he doesn't belong in. His defense sucks, and he can't compensate it with his offense enough.
Time.
All right, okay. He cooked, man. Hey, that's how you cook. I see you, Football Breakdown. All right, y'all Money, it is on you. Your time starts when you start. Let's get into it.
So the most overrated player is Domantas Sabonis. Yeah, okay, I'm giving it a little.
My fault. Hold on. From the top. Go
ahead.
My fault.
Oak's not even here.
The most overrated player is Domantas Sabonis. I think from one of the reasons is because people don't think about the goal of the NBA is to win championships. And then that goal, he is overrated because he can create these advantages like these other great offensive players. He just can't drive his offense to that high. So he has to have that high pace they ran in 2023 with Thugs and Monk being more the advantage creators, and he gets past and he can bully small defenders, but his defensive issues and his lack of offensive, like high ceiling on like a Jokic, it's just not there on the championship winning level. So
Time.
All right. That was a great round. I'm gonna run around the room again. Chill. Who do you got?
I think he made a compelling argument about Sabonis. I think he did. I think he made a really compelling argument about Sabonis. I'm gonna go with Drago over here.
All right, shout out Drago. One for Drago. I hope you know that's your new name. So, hey, you went from Skeet to Jaw Money to J Money to Drago. Pin, who you got?
Yo, y'all both did not suck this round. I appreciate both of you guys.
Football was
doing that.
awesome too, by the way.
Yeah.
I think football breakdown, like your ability to just knock in how many points you did in 40 seconds is crazy. Like that was amazing. But you picked Jokic. So I'm gonna have to go with Drago on that one alone. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of bias here. Drago just simply picked actually a really overrated player, and you actually picked, I think, one of the most underrated players in NBA history. So I'm gonna give it to Drago. I think he made some good points about Domantas Sabonis' holes. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you gotta know your personnel, man. You said Jokic, and you gotta know your personnel. Like,
don't worry, you got a couple votes. Swiper, who you got?
Yeah, Yamar. See if I didn't correctly say it, whatever. But I think he
Drago.
Sure, or you can call him
Drago.
Drago or whatever. Yeah, I think you for sure won. I think picking the top of the league and saying they're the most overrated. That's not a smart strategy for me. I think you can swing hold on. But I think it's just from an argument standpoint. If you pick like a player that actually has like for me like a Karl Anthony Towns, if you were to swing that one. I think there's
Swiper, you could be the number one player in the league and be overrated. That could happen, Swiper.
He should have won 5 MVPs.
I mean, but I don't even know. I don't even. That's just not.
Just so we clear.
Yeah,
you could 100% be
I personally don't really
a top 5 player. I think Jason Tatum is a top 5 player, and you think he's overrated.
No. But the issue is, I think when you're arguing, but that's not we're getting into semantics. Now, I just don't think picking the top is how you do overrated. That's just for me, though. For me, I think that like Sabonis is.
Oh man,
no one rates Sabonis that high though. Like.
Hey, you can't make a case for yourself. Hey,
exactly.
I saw big up top 10.
I think the premise was flawed.
I think you're muted, but I can read lips. I mean, this with all due respect, I think Football Breakdown clearly won. And the reason I think he clearly won is because he illustrated where Jokic is rated and then said why he's overrated. Y'all Money didn't say where Sabonis is rated to then say how he's overrated. He just said Sabonis is overrated for these reasons in which I agree with, and I think he made salient points. But if we're discussing who's overrated, you have to start with where the person is rated and then explain why they aren't as good.
But to be fair, he listed his
and
goals.
That's why I think Football Breakdown very clearly won. Because he said Jokic, and he set the precedent. Best offensive player ever, best offensive season ever, and then went from why he's overrated off of that. Young Money didn't do that with.
But he did state that his goal was for winning a championship. This is why.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain where people are rating Sabonis. That's saying he's saying Sabonis isn't valuable for the goal of winning a championship. But the term overrated is based on where people are placing him, and he hasn't said where people place him to say why he's overrated, which is why I went with the breakdown.
I'll remind you that Domantas Sabonis finished top 10 in MVP voting twice. Okay. So relative to that, yeah, I get it. I think he is.
And
overrated.
if he would have said that, then I would have agreed. He didn't say that. And you're not making an argument for him. And when I made that point, no disrespect, Young Money looked at me and nodded. He realized he agreed with my point of the debate. Now you guys are defending it.
In my mind, I almost just thought like it is so implied that everyone see him making these all NBA teams. I should have maybe just said he's not an all NBA player. And
then maybe you could have won. But
fellas, here's the thing. Chill's gonna like this. With our 6 judges, we went 3-3 because
me.
Yeah. So the poll is up right now. I'm going to give you guys about 30 more seconds. As of right now, it's looking like Football Breakdown's taking it home, but we'll see. 30 seconds can make a big difference.
I'm not saying football clearly won, but what I am saying is 2 people picked Young Money because of bias.
Yes.
What I'm saying is it's looking like Jokic is getting cooked yet again.
Wait a minute.
You can't say no.
No, hold on, Mark. The issue with you though, Mars, is that now you're dragging it. Now you're dragging it. I didn't say anything strong in the first segment when we started this whole thing.
That's why I said you can have plausible deniability.
But the issue is that the actual host got off the mic going glazing and gawking as soon as he started talking. So he himself is not impartial to this conversation.
I swayed the votes?
Hold on.
I swayed the votes by being
that's literally what he did. So what I'm saying is the chat, Mars, hold on. What I'm saying is the chat is so easy. They're so convinced by post-conversation glaze that they forget that Ron disrupted the conversation to Glaze, and nobody brings
No,
it
you're
up.
right.
'Cause
You're
nobody-
right.
and by the way,
So me as the host,
and by the way, drop because nobody respects Ron's opinion about Jokic. But me, they actually.
I don't think they respect
That's
your
what I'm
opinion
saying.
either, because you care
Obviously
too
they do,
much.
Because
you care too much.
I didn't even say anything. Literally, I didn't say anything.
Swiper.
Like during the combo.
Hang
That
on.
don't make no sense.
It's
We
no way.
both picked the guy who made the argument for Luka winning MVP last year, next year over Jokic. So before
It's
you do that,
It's no way y'all love
There's
Jokic
such a big
this
difference
much.
between Jokic MVP and he's the most overrated player in the NBA. Yeah. Why would bias come into one of them and not the other?
But this is
It's no way y'all love Jokic this much that you guys are.
bias. You said it.
We're
4 minutes ago. You said, yeah, there's bias in this. That's what you said. Now you're trying to deny the bias. You admitted to the bias, and now you're trying to deny it when I point
you're
out.
trying to redefine what the bias is. You can make an argument, but you're not going to convince me that Jokic is one of the most overrated.
All right,
because
fellas, look.
on a lot of stuff beyond your argument.
Hey, Pin, Mars, Swiper, chill. We got to get through this. We can't debate on every little point. We got to make our votes and move on. If Jokic doesn't get a vote, you guys don't get in your feelings and don't get up in an uproar. And I promise I won't do the same thing if it's
No,
Giannis.
you already
All right,
ruined the debate.
now I ruined the debate. All right, hey,
Mars, am I
Drago,
tripping?
unfortunately,
Ron interrupts and goes, yeah, like when he said Jokic, that does. A, that's your own bias.
So
B,
pipe down, Ron.
that might change the perspective of the chat. But
Pipe
even
down,
if it doesn't
Ron.
change the perspective of the chat, I'm not going to say it did because I don't know the chat. But it definitely is you displaying your own bias. So away
Pipe
from
down,
Penn's
Ron.
bias and Swiper's potential bias, you displayed your own bias, which I think is also wrong.
I thought he cooked. The way he said.
It was Jokic.
Oh, he cooked when he said it. Hey, all right. Football, but hold on, no. Football breakdown. Say it again. Say it again. Say Jokic is most overrated.
He's overrated.
One more time.
See, here you go, man.
He's just overrated. It's not
Who
that big of a deal.
that boy cooking? But all right, y'all, we got to get to the next person.
Nobody.
It is my man, Daniel, a.k.a. What's up? Daniel, a.k.a. Small Boxes. You ready to cook?
I hope so. Yeah. Listen,
All right.
I'm pro
What's up?
all bias as long as it's in my favor.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
that's the way to go.
Okay, boom. Go ahead.
All right. Next up, the next topic I got for you guys is who's the biggest underachiever of all time? Football breakdown, you won the first one. So Daniel, that means you got to go first. Biggest underachiever of all time.
First?
Yeah. Whoever comes up first has to go first. I'll give you a quick second to think
Okay.
about it.
I don't need to think about it.
Got it. Well, your time starts when
Okay.
you start.
You see, the thing about a lot of NBA records is they are all held by one person. And that one person has held these records for 50, 60 years. So, and the thing is, I know this guy, he did something no one else has done, no one else will ever do, which is score 100 points in a game. And on that note, I say the most overrated player of all time is Wilt Chamberlain.
No. Hold on.
No, my bad. The biggest
Underachiever.
underachiever of all time is Wilt Chamberlain because he was the most talented player we've ever seen in one of the weakest eras we've ever seen, and he was only able to get 2 championships, and one of those, and he
Time.
kind of got carried by Jerry.
All
right.
Okay.
We got Wilt Chamberlain. All right, football breakdown. Who do you have?
I have Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid is the most overrated player of all time. He's been one of the top 3 players in the league, especially in the East, in a weak East. He had one of the better teams and lost to Atlanta Hawks that they should have beat. That had one of the best starting fives of Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick. I forget the other dude, Ben Simmons was supposed to be great. They had a better starting five than the Hawks. They should have beat them. They lost to the Hawks because for whatever, he didn't play as well as he should have. Ben Simmons didn't play as well as should have. And considering what Jimmy Butler did in Miami, that team should have gone way further. And he hasn't been to a conference finals despite his talent and scoring peak. So,
Time.
All right, fellas. Y'all know what
I
time
think
it
this
is.
one
We're
is
going to go around and vote. Who you got, Chill?
I think Football Breakdown did a better job here in making some really good points. I'm gonna go with Football Breakdown here.
All right, Swiper.
Daniel, because the question was who's the biggest underachiever ever of all time. So he mentioned all of Will's stats, the fact that he is at the top of the leaderboard and everything else, and has only won 2 championships, and then said that he dropped and failed. And he got carried to one of those as well. So
I sense a bias, but it's 1-1.
I'm not gonna lie, Ron,
you
you doing a real bad job today, bro. Like you really need to sit back. Like,
So-
this is crazy.
I once
Obvious.
again, Football Breakdown said Joel Embiid. If he had stopped right there, literally made no arguments and just stared at the camera for 38 seconds, in my opinion, he would have won. Because I think Daniel it took way too long with your argument. You got distracted somewhere. No offense. I know. Pot calling kettle black. I get it. Yeah. I do take long with my arguments. But you actually, So I think Football Breakdown made some really good points. I do think they're both underachievers, but one of them achieved so much more and went against the dynasty. So I just think, for Joel Embiid to not get out of a conference, to not get to a conference finals, it's crazy. So yeah, good pick, Football Breakdown.
Mars, who you got?
I think Football Breakdown clearly won. Reasons being is Jerry West definitely didn't carry Wilt to that title.
No, he did not.
Wilt Chamberlain was the best player on that team. So that's just that was just something incorrect. B, taking 30 seconds to say the player's name probably hurts your argument in a 40-second debate. And then C, when you say someone's the biggest underachiever ever and you start off your argument with he has all of these records in NBA history, that's oxymoron. You can't say this guy leads the NBA in all of these things, has achieved all of these things, he's the biggest underachiever. Whereas Football Breakdown, although I have my alliances to Joel Embiid, pointing out the talent level he has and then the failures against the Hawks, the failures to get out of the second round all of those times, that's more tangible as opposed to saying this guy has all of these NBA records, he's the biggest underachiever. That doesn't make sense. So Football Breakdown quite easily for me.
All right, but shout out to Daniel. You got 1 vote. We are going to move on to the next person in the lineup, and it's supposed to be R. Wade, but R. Wade is in the back, but his device isn't connected. So R. Wade, until you get connected, I can't bring you up. So you're just sitting in the back, and your screen says device is not. Oh, would you look at that? I'm trying to tap you in. R. Wade, you good? You there?
Is this Mike the Champ's burner count? Bro, turn
Rezzle.
your on.
R. Wade, Rezzle? What? M? All right, well, since you're not here, I'm going to have to move on to the next person, which happens to be Jason Grillionaire. Let's get into it. What's good, Jason?
Yo, what's up?
Sure you got the clock?
It is right here.
Jason, it's on you. I got 2 players for you. Now, we are going to go back to their rookie years. Actually, we're going to go back to before they were drafted. You got 2 players on the board. Paul George. You like that, Jason? And Jimmy Butler. You get to draft one of these guys, and you get them for the duration of their career. And then you have to build a team around them. Who do you want? Grillionaire, it is on you, which means whoever you select, Football Breakdown, you have to select the opposite person. Also, Football Breakdown, you have 2 points already, which means you need 2 more points to officially advance to the PCL. I know you guys aren't going to let him reel off 4 in a row on you guys like that. But anyways,
hang on for one second, Jason Grill. Why does he have to pick the opposite person? Maybe he can make a better argument for that same guy.
Well, do that, and if you do that,
that's certainly a weird way to win a debate.
Yes, but hey, do what you got to do. All right, it's on you, Jason Grillionaire. Whenever you start, your time will start.
I think it's Jimmy Butler, off the fact that I think Paul George if I'm looking now, the Paul George with the injury history he had, Paul George with I think the problem with Paul George, at least like his start of his career, was definitely the fact that he was, I won't say like a late bloomer, but I definitely think in the first 5 years of career, I think Jimmy was better. I think undrafted Jimmy Butler was always known as like a jack of all trades type guy. You kind of want that in your wing more than now. He's coming to the NBA at that time when he was drafted, especially with all I can do, everything in wings kind of being drafted at the time. So I think Jimmy Butler's a better pick.
Time.
Great argument, Jason Grillionaire. It is on you, Football Breakdown. Your time will start when you start.
Clearly, Paul George. Paul George, better ball handler, better three-point shooter, better scorer overall. He can adopt more positions on the team, compensate for when you have a bad point guard or a point guard because his playmaking and passing is initially better. His ball handling is better under pressure. Jimmy Butler is getting a lot of favoritism because he played for a Heat team in a very weak East. Was able to get to the finals of the AC, which tells you how weak the East is, and he gets a lot of pub off of those runs. But Jimmy Butler was hopping from team to team, whereas Paul George, even in Indiana, was very great. He ran into a peak LeBron James when he played great in those series, went head to head, had great runs, and even when he was in OKC, he was MVP candidate and DPOY candidate.
Time.
Ron, you
This
muted.
one's tough. this one's tough. This is
I like that. That was a good ass round. Jill, who are you rocking with?
I don't think either of them made a case for moving forward, but I think that Jason Grills threw me off when he said when he said about being a late bloomer. Jimmy Butler is the epitome of a late bloomer. Jimmy Butler was not as much of a late bloomer as a Football Breakdown talked about. So I'm going to go with Football Breakdown.
that threw me
All
off
right.
too, Joe.
That's one for Football Breakdown. Mars, who you got?
I'm with Cho in the sense that the late bloomer stuff to hold against Paul George, but not Jimmy Butler throws me off. And then I think football did well to talk about Paul George's runs in Indiana, which happened in his first 3-4 years in his career to kind of counteract that talking point. But then he also said some things like being a better playmaker, passer, and stuff, which I just don't think are true. This one's tough. I'm gonna go with.
We'll come back to you, Mars. How about that?
Thank you, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll come back to you, Mars.
All right, Swiper, who you got?
Football made a better argument.
Pembroke, what you got, brother?
Football.
Football. Made
Oh,
a
my
better
vote doesn't
argument.
mean anything, right?
No, it still does. Chill, Swiper, Pin,
I got it.
all win with football, but it's still 3 more votes.
Who did Kenny pick?
I can't tell you that. You make your
If Kenny picks football, then my vote doesn't matter.
You still got your vote, Mars.
Yeah, but then it has less pressure on me. Who did you
Nah,
pick?
the pressure's on you.
He picked Jason Grills.
I'll go with football.
There we go.
Man.
All right. Kenny did pick football, by the way.
See, my vote meant nothing. Okay. Good shit.
But hey, we got Real Talk. He's gonna be voting. He agreed that if I let him be a voter, that we would swipe our debt. So hey, man, shout out to Real Talk. He's a stand-up guy, man. All right, well, Jason, it has been real. We will see you on the flip side. Football Breakdown, my friend. You are at 3 right now.
Ron,
But-
you're doing more
He's in the
backdoor
PCL.
deals than Steve Ballmer right now, bro.
What?
You're doing more backdoor deals than Steve Ballmer right now.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. Shout out to Aspiration and shout out to the Inspiration, to the PCL. But Football Breakdown, you have 3 right now. But you know there's a little rule in the PCL, King of the Court.
Mm-hmm.
If you win 3 in a row, you're done. You got to go to the end of the line. So you scored 3 buckets in a row and you are up 3-0. Well, 3-1. Drago got 1 as well. But you got to go to the end of the line. So hopefully we'll see you in a little bit. All right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's nonsense, but you got abide by the nonsense.
You the king of the court, but you can't stay on the court.
Yeah.
No.
Hoopers, by the way. These are real hoopers who are making up these nonsense king of the court rules.
Hey, man,
Hey.
there's term limits on presidentials too, right? So
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
There ain't no
4 years.
time limit on king of the court. If you
No,
wipe
it's not.
everyone, you
That's-
wipe everyone.
Okay.
Well,
That's
Hey.
how you
We don't
play
wait
the
on time
game.
for this.
Mars, what's the term called? What is it called? King what?
King of the court. That's what it's called.
King, Ron. That means that this is my court. I'm running.
He's still the king. He's still running things. He's still the king of the court. He's up 3-0. He just got to take his ass to the back of the line. And now MTEL is up. And
There we
to go with MTEL, he finally got his setup together. I got my man R. Wade. What's good, Wade?
What's going on, brother?
Can we hear him?
Wait,
Yeah,
is the mic
yeah.
working? Okay, he hot.
Wait.
Okay, he's
Wait,
hot.
no, say
I
something.
don't know if he's hot, but
No, he hot. He hot.
Oh,
Focus, Ron.
Oh, he put that. Oh, he pulled the
Oh,
AirPods
wait.
on me. That's
Yeah, you
crazy.
might-
You guys can hear me? You good?
you kind of
yeah,
cold
we
right
hear,
now.
we hear,
You
we
good?
hear,
Yeah,
we
I
hear,
can't
we
hear
hear.
him. Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah, I heard.
Hey, R Wade, what's your name? What do you like to go by?
Wait, you Rezel.
Rezel?
Rezel.
Okay, all
Rezel's
right.
good, yeah.
All right. Rezel, talk again. I want to make sure you're good. Say Giannis is the best player in the world?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Giannis is the best player in the world. Easily. Are you kidding me? You see what he did against the Pacers? He didn't drop like Jokic.
I'm not saying my tape with this panel group up here. Oh no.
All right, y'all.
You see why I want to box him? You see why I want a straight box round?
That's why we never finish anything, because one guy do this nonsense.
All right, Rezel Mtel. The next question is, who is the best? Hold on, we got to figure out who's gonna go first.
What?
Well, it was supposed to. Rezel. It was. Well, hold on. It was supposed. So Rezel's
This guy's garbage, trash.
Rezel's been a Hall of Famer for an hour.
Here's figure this out, Ron.
Here's the thing. Mtel. Well, Mtel isn't actually a Hall of Famer right now.
Yeah, but he's got cachet. Unfortunately, he's got cachet.
Yeah, but Hall of Famers trump cachet. So Rezel, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second. All
right. So Rezel's going second. Mtel, that means you're going first. This is a good one. The next question I got is, who is the best shooting guard in the NBA? Mtel, your time starts when you start.
All right, you ready, Chill?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, the best shooting guard in the NBA is clearly Anthony Edwards. The man has improved his shooting. He's been one of the best slashers. He's brought his team to a conference championship multiple times. I mean, the only other competition I could see is maybe Donovan Mitchell, but his team's underperformed. And I feel like Anthony Edwards always rises to the occasions for the most part. When you look at him on a year-by-year basis, he's been doing a steady climb, improvement year after year. I think this year it'll be clear that he's the number one shooting guard. I don't really think he's going to have a competition for that. I think he's a better shooter than anybody else, honestly. He's a better shooter. I think his playmaking has made extreme leaps and bounds, and like I say, he's a better winning player than anybody else you could bring up.
Time.
Rezel, my man, your time is going to start when you do. Talk to us. Best shooting guard in the NBA.
Okay, I got Donovan Mitchell. I think he's a better playmaker by far. The reads he can make, he can play point guard and shooting guard, something Anthony Edwards is still struggling with. Anthony Edwards is the better defender, but Mitchell improved a lot this year with that. And he's still overrated, I think, defensively. His motor isn't as high as you'd like it to be. Also, the Cavs, they do bad in the playoffs, but that's a lot because of injuries, not really of Mitchell. Mitchell last year cooked the Orlando Magic, cooked this year as well. Anthony Edwards hasn't, I don't think, had a playoff scoring series like that. Also, he's just better at leading the offense. If he's your main offensive initiator, your offense is going to be high rated. So that's why I think D. Mitch is better. He's also more versatile. You can play on ball, off ball.
Time.
I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't.
I think Rezel won. That's my answer.
I don't want to sway the votes, but Mars said Rezel, so that's one for Rezel. Swiper, who do you got?
Mark, would it be fair to say that like 1 second there probably boosted that a little bit? Because I feel like Mtel made some really good arguments.
It made it a lot easier. But I would have picked Ant if I was first, to be fair.
Yeah.
So it made it a lot easier.
Hey, I don't want to get swung by the recency bias of like the last 45 seconds, but so I'm going Mtel. I thought actually Mtel made some really strong points.
All right, Penn.
My bias is telling me Mtel. I agree with Mtel. I know Mtel, but because I'm not a biased person, I'm picking Rezel. Unfortunately,
I went to your film festival, so thanks.
Oh, shout out to you. Shout out to you, man.
That's one way to get a judge on side. Good work.
Chill.
I thought Mtel made a really good argument for Anthony Edwards and his improvement, but I thought Rezel made a compelling argument about Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs and how he doesn't fall off as much, and it's because of injury. I think that was the telling point for me. I'm gonna go with Rez.
All right, Mtel, unfortunately you lost this one. Rez, you came through and you got your first victory, so you're gonna move on. Next up, y'all, we got Bulletproof. You good? You still there?
Yeah, but I want to make sure that y'all hear me because someone started a party next door, so I don't know if the
they started a what? A party?
They're prematurely celebrating Amir getting into the PCR.
I knew you were going there.
Hey, Amir, fuck this. Go to the party.
No, it's not my part. It's just I want to know that y'all hear me because the music is loud. It's loud, so
I can
So
hear
you
you.
can
Nah, you
hear
good.
me.
You good. Yeah, yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Party time.
All right, let's get into it, y'all. The next question that we got is who played better in 09?
Oh, I know what this is gonna be.
Kobe Bryant or Dwayne Wade? Amir, it is on you. So you get to
Wait,
kick things off.
I'm going first again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You guys hear me well, right? Are you sure
Yeah,
you're?
hot.
We hear you loud and clear,
You
buddy.
hot, brother.
Or,
You hot.
can I just okay, because I don't hear myself. But anyway, I'll try to.
You don't hear yourself.
Okay.
Did they know these
Music
topics
is so
going
loud, we
into
can't hear
into
us.
the into
It's
this?
extremely
No,
loud
these
here.
are topics on the fly.
Okay, so Kobe or Wade in 09, you said?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start. So I think Kobe Bryant played better in 09. He was the best player in the league in 09. He faced tougher competition, and in the playoffs especially, he had like 4 50-win teams, and he beat all of them. That was a crazy run. And also in the finals, people don't give him enough credit for it. I think in 09, in the playoffs, in the playoffs and in the finals, Kobe's numbers are like really high, and also the eye test, because when you see the teams he played against, and he not only maintained his regular season level, but he actually increased it, and he beat an Orlando Magic team that even the 66 win Cavs couldn't touch. That's crazy to me.
Definitely heard the music there.
All right.
That's the Mamba
Damn,
Party
it sound
time.
bro.
it sounded like
Party
they
time.
didn't. That's why he chose Kobe Pin. But it sounded like they
Party
didn't start
time.
playing the music until you started debating. You got
Did you hear
say.
me? Did you hear me though?
Yeah,
We heard you,
got
yeah.
I have
Why is the music?
I have a
Why is the
theory.
music off now?
I have a theory that Rezel has got some people in
It's-
Egypt next to you, playing
Why?
music to.
Why don't
to
we hear
mix
no
you
music
up.
now?
He's messing you
You
up.
got
bro.
family in Egypt.
It is very loud. If I open the window, you'll hear it.
It's okay.
Keeps
So why
going
don't-
up. Yeah.
All right,
Like,
all right,
All right, I'm
all right.
ready.
Well, Rezel, it's on you. Kick things off. When you kick things off, your time to start.
Okay, so I think D Wade's clearly the better defender, on ball, off ball. His motor is way longer than Kobe's at this point. I think Kobe's a great scorer, but D Wade averaged 30 on higher efficiency. The only reason you talked a lot about championships and playoffs, yeah, that's because D Wade's team was trash. He did great in the first round, was shot higher percentages than he did in the regular season, which was already higher than Kobe, by the way. So you have the better defender. He's a better pick and roll ball handler. He can play on ball, off ball. Kobe could play on ball too, but I don't think as good as D Wade. I think D Wade was the better passer. D Wade was better in transition at this point. He was the more athletic player. I think a lot of what you said was Kobe had a great team. I think Kobe peaked in 06 or 03, but he just didn't have the teammates for that. Now he had Pau Gasol.
Whoo, damn. All right, Chill. It is on you.
I think he made a really good argument for Dwayne Wade. Really good argument. Talking about his numbers, talking about his athleticism. Because Kobe Bryant was at that point on the other side of who he was athletically. Yeah, I'm going to go with Rez.
Hey, you see what happened there, y'all? Amir went with the guy who's his profile pick, and R. Wade went with Mr. Wade. How ironic. Pin, who you got?
Yeah, I empathize with Bulletproof going through that. That's crazy. Like to keep track of what you're trying to say with all that music blaring. He could hear. He said it before. Before we heard the music, he said it's too loud. Imagine how much louder it got for him. So shout out to Bulletproof for trying. I got to go with Rezel, unfortunately. But yeah, sorry.
Mars.
Both of them said things that aren't entirely true. The Lakers didn't beat all 50-win teams in the playoffs that year. That was 2010. And D Wade's efficiency didn't go up in the playoffs.
3 points did.
In 09. Okay, cool. But his efficiency didn't go up in the playoffs in 09. So both of them said things that weren't entirely true. But I do think Rezel made the overall better points, bringing up the defensive gap, bringing up how the scoring production was similar, and that was a big part of Kobe's case, and then bringing up the playmaking, the pick and roll stuff. So I think Rezel won.
All right, Swiper, who you got?
Rezel.
All right, Rezel, it looks like you swept with the judges. Bulletproof, go knock on your neighbor's doors, tell them to keep it down, and I hope next time you come up, you could be a little more focused. But you did make a good argument, though. All right, Rezel, you got 2 points. back up again. He does have a point. He kicked things off, and he's back to make more damage. We got Drago. Drago, you are gonna go first. The next question I got is, who is the greatest Boston Celtic of all time? I'm gonna give you a second, and then you can go ahead and kick things off.
So the greatest Boston Celtics of all time is obviously Bill Russell. The greatest era the greatest dynasty we've ever seen in the NBA is the 60 Celtics, 11 championships in 13 years. He was the best defender at both a man defense and rim protection, at a point where protecting the rim and defending bigs was the absolutely most important. He was even good enough to, in the 1963 finals, he switched on to Jerry West and blocked his jump shot. He was that good on defense. On offense, he obviously had some problems scoring, but like he was still a hub, did good things with his passing and offensive rebounding. But his defense was so transformative at a point it was so more important than it's ever been.
Time.
All right, hold on right quick. Rez, before you go, it's a lot of people in the chat saying these are bad questions. I've told you numbnuts. You can send me topics and I will use y'all topics. So before you type and say it's a bad topic, type and give us a good topic. Whatever you guys want these guys to debate, you can choose. It's the reason why you guys are the chat. And it's the reason why you guys are the best chat in the world. And it's the reason why we give you guys so much influence as to why these Hall of Famers are up here. So you guys be in the tier you're in. It's called a chatter tier. Chat good topics, okay? Thank you. Here we go. We got a good one. Thank you. All right. Rez, it's on you. You get the next topic, or you get the second part of this. Go ahead. Your time starts when you start. Let's do it.
So I think Bird was actually more influential than Bill Russell, just because the NBA at that time was really going through a big merger right after the NBA merger, NBA ABA merger. I think Bird was the more complete player. He brought more relevance to the Celtics. When you think about the Celtics, you think more Larry Bird. He's more of a recognizable name. Also, the fact that he's white in Boston helps. I mean, people just liked him more, so that he's just more important to Boston for that reason. But as far as a basketball player, I don't think Bill Russell was ever the best basketball player at his time. I think Bird was for like 7-8 years. I think Wilt was better than Bill Russell. I also think, Bird was just the more complete player. One of the best passers of all time. Phenomenal shooter for a guy that size. You talk about revolutionary. For him to shoot the threes at that size.
All right, that's time. All right, y'all. You know the drill. We got 2 good rounds. Who do you got, Chill?
So let's not act like being white in Boston and playing for the Celtics doesn't matter. It 100%.
That was an amazing point.
That
was an amazing point.
That was a hard debate, man.
That is a great
I had to pull out
point.
every trick.
The fact that you called him a more complete player. I mean, he wasn't a defender that Bill Russell was, but he did defend. I think you made a really compelling argument for Bird. So I'm gonna have to go with Rez.
All right, Mars.
Both people made excellent arguments. I think bringing up being white in Boston is a huge talking point. I really liked bringing up how basically steering the NBA and by addition Boston into relevance even after the Bill Russell era and basically saving the NBA is a huge point for Bird. I really like that. I like Yao Money's point about Bill Russell being the greatest, most impactful defender, leading the greatest dynasty of all time in Boston, and his overall impact on the game. In terms of who I think made the better argument, because I'm looking at it through the basketball lens, I'm gonna go with Yao Money because I think he kept it more to the on-court stuff. But Rezo made an amazing argument for Larry Bird. But I'm going with Yao
What
Money.
was the question again? It was who's more important to the Celtics, right?
Who's the best Celtic?
Oh, best Celtic. Okay.
Best Celtic. So that's
Wait,
on
was that the question, Ron? Best or most important?
Not the best Celtic.
Okay.
That's on court.
Yeah, so I went with Yao Money.
I think Bird's still better, but yeah.
Swiper, who you got?
Radio silence is not good, but you know what else
Hey
is
man,
good?
people gotta think, man. But unfortunately, we are on a podcast, and if we stay quiet,
sir.
people gonna
Yes,
stop
sir.
listening. So we need to vocalize our thoughts. To say
Pin, you know, if you need a second Swiper, Pin could jump in.
Yes, Penn could definitely jump in. What you got, Penn?
I want to, say having to go against Bill Russell is very hard because
Very
it's
much so.
obviously the right answer is Bill Russell, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think given that Rezel made a sort of 4D chess move to pivot the topic a little bit towards the importance of a player, the popularity of a player. So I'm wondering whether I should add points for that or dock points for that. That's what I'm thinking.
It's tough. Do you add points for someone?
I think the point that he made about him being a more complete player, revolutionizing the game, impact on the game, popularity. I think a lot of that matters. I'm gonna go with Rezel and shout outs, but it's tough, man. This was
I could have said that doesn't matter, but I don't.
I'll go with Yalmar.
I mean, you could have rebut with saying everything Bill Russell did for race relations in the U.S., let alone Boston.
But I don't know he's gonna bring up.
So it's tough because if there was another,
I had to bring that
up
against Russell. I mean,
I would have been interested to see another round of this conversation.
Okay, first of all, Rez, I would have brought that up. So absolutely, you're gonna bring that up. Hell yes.
You got
Birdie
to.
and White playing in Boston for the
Dude,
Celtics.
there was someone who went to.
But I feel like it's unfair because if Yalmar
match the number of.
If I could remember,
if he would have chose,
Yao Money went second, he could have got all of the civil rights stuff for Bill Russell. He could have done.
But if he had Larry
I would have picked
Bird,
Bill Russell though.
but if he had Larry Bird, he would have said that,
You would have,
and I would have brought that
But
stuff up.
you still.
If I had Bill Russell, I would have won this easy.
I think Bill Russell
but that's the thing. Going second in a debate, it's like saying who's the second best Chicago Bull of all time. Except it's a little closer.
But you can make a better argument. You can make a.
But that's the advantage of the second point.
Derrick Rose is from Chicago. That level of impact.
All right, fellas. So chill. You went with Rez. Mars, you went with Rez?
No, I went with Yalmar.
You went with Yalmar? Swiper, you went with Yalmar?
Yep.
Pin, you went with Rez?
Yep.
That's 2-2. I went with Rez. Real talk, Multi-Kenny went with Drago. And Real Talk went with Rez. So Rez, you now have 3 points.
Wow.
But
shit.
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna be honest. Him and Football Breakdown should just do a 1v1 right now.
Rez, you're at 3, which means you are out of here.
Yeah, too good.
So we'll see you in a little bit. Fellas, how we feeling about this right now?
This is what happens when you come to the Penn Dance Film Festival. You become great at debating basketball. Apparently. That's great.
It's weird because I think thus far the two best debaters have been Yao Money and Rez. No disrespect to Football Breakdown, but I think they've been the two best thus far. So
see, I think football one of them dudes that just Swiper, the girl that's really good looking, but she say something wild as hell soon as the date start, and you completely just get turned off from her.
What?
So when football came in, and he came in with the Jokic is overrated, it's like, oh, I'm good. I'm straight.
That's how you come and shake the room up.
But I think he made a very good case for that, even though I didn't agree with it.
Gets off like 8 points per 40 seconds. That's crazy.
Anything you say after that, it just go in one ear out the other.
His rate of talking, actual.
He does a good job of getting a lot of things.
He condenses everything down. He's doing a better job of that than most of us would do up here, I think, except for Mars.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I'm going to be jumping into the chat for some of the next topics. This is going to be the next topic that we're going to debate from MTHJ301. MTHJ said, who would be the most improved next year or make an all-star jump? We got Daniel Boxes up next, and we got Jason Grills up next. Who is going to go first?
First point on the board now.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be you, Jason. It's going to be you, Jason. Daniel Boxes, you're going to go second. So, Jason, your time will start when you start. Who will be the most improved next year or make an all-star jump?
Sorry.
All right. Okay. All right. I think Payne Pritchard will be the next improved next year, honestly. I think Payne Pritchard having a bigger role next year because Jason Tatum's going to be out. I think Jaylen Brown going to be out? I think from the start of the season, at least he has some like surgery going on at the moment. I think he has a bigger role coming up. I think him having to probably put more points on the board, show more of like what he's had to do, have more minutes, is going to have him be a little more impactful, show people that he has to probably he could probably step up and do a bigger role like that. I think going from a bench player always gives someone the most MIP anyway. I think that's like a narrative that always gets swung their way as well, especially being the Celtics. That's when we got a lot.
Time.
Okay.
Daniel Boxes, your time is on you. Whenever you start, your time is start.
All right. the most improved player next year and All-Star will be Amen Thompson, because he is already the league's next young, good player who we believe will become one of the league's next great players. And as we know, the history of the most improved player award has gone to players who we already know are good in year 1, 2, 3, players who've already gotten award buzz and already are in big markets. And Amen Thompson has all that. He's one of the best defenders in the league. If they give him the shots and the usage, especially on a team like Houston, where he's going to have the vision with Kevin Durant. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be Amen Thompson because they need to give him an award, and I don't think he's going to be good enough next year.
Time.
All right, fellas, we already know the drill. Real talk, Multi-Kenny, send in your votes. Chill, who do you got?
This was tough right here because I think that they both misrepresented some things. Jaylen Brown is starting the season, by the way. He's not going to be on the injury reserve. He's going to be just fine. I just saw the dude in the race, so he's going to be playing when the season starts. And
he was racing, huh?
He just was in the race, so he's going to be starting the season. And Daniel talked about how Amen Thompson, like we already know about guys previous to the MIP. I had no idea about Dyson Daniels like that. I did not know who he was like that. So, but I do think that Daniel made a little bit of a better argument for him. So I'm going to go with Daniel.
All right, Mars, who you got?
I got Grills. I think reason one, just one of the things Daniel said about the MIP going to like guys who are kind of established. I think the last three have been Dyson, Tyrese Maxey, and Markkanen, all three of which hadn't really got to the level where they were established when they won the award. Jar's kind of the last one of that ilk. But the reason I went with Jason Grills is I think he laid out the blueprint for why Peyton Pritchard's production will go up. Jason Tatum's injury, being a consistent starter, all of those things, whereas yours was more hypothetically if Amen Thompson's usage goes up, but you didn't give out the blueprint for how that was going to happen. More so just kind of hoping it would happen. In fact, I would argue it probably would go down considering Kevin Durant is there in place of Jalen Green, but I'm not one to making the argument. But I just think Jason Grills gave a more tangible pathway for Peyton Pritchard to win it. So that's why I would go with Jason.
All right, the next topic we're going to do is Carmelo versus T-Mac, just so you guys can start getting prepared, whether you're in the back or whether you're here on the screen. Swiper, it's on you. Who you got?
Jason.
Jason? Pin?
I had it ranked 3.9, I think. 3.7 for girls, 2.7 for boxes. This is not a
Can we see that again?
Damn, I couldn't get a 4? Dang.
Yeah, 3.7
out of 10.
2.9
Oh my God.
out of 10.
Out of 10.
These were some bad arguments, and I'll tell you why you lose points with me. Obviously, you said Peyton Pritchard would start. He's currently the leading front runner for Sixth Man of the Year according to Vegas. So obviously Vegas doesn't agree. Anthony Simon's probably going to be the starter, so I don't think he's going to get the usage that you think he's going to get. But I think Boxes just lost points for sounding confused about whether Kevin Durant was on the team. Just kind of went like Kevin Durant. You just lose points for that. For me, at least for me, this is unfortunately, yeah. So that's kind of like an off-putting thing. And
you lose points for sounding confused.
Unfortunately, Daniel.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Daniel, you only got 2 votes.
Okay.
You only got 2 votes. You got 1 from Chill, and you got 1 from Multi-Kenny. I'm gonna have to move you to the end of the line. Jason Grills, you got a point. Go ahead, cook everybody that voted for you. Actually, I voted for you too.
Listen, I actually thought about debating this topic earlier, but this morning Tyler Hero got hurt.
What?
Because I'm a Heat fan. Because I would have gone with the Tyler Hero good to great jump argument, but he got it.
Like seriously hurt?
Yeah, he got surgery. He'll be out for the first part of the season.
I would have been Tyler Hero.
And that would have been my most
why the
improved pick
Raptors
anyway.
odds went up for wins. Oh,
Hold on, Pin. You guys didn't know? Mars, Chill, Swiper?
I would have took Tyler Hero.
Here you guys supposed to be basketball gurus, and y'all ain't know that one of the best players in the league had surgery.
Who said
I don't keep up with a lot of the.
They came out on Bleacher Report hours ago. So I don't. It just Ron, you didn't slot it inside of the talking point for today, so we had to.
Oh, I gotta make it a talking. I got it. Okay,
well, you are the host, so yes.
I mean, I would have just found out. I just found out about it, so I wouldn't have had much to say. I would have just said it's unfortunate.
Okay. All right. Well, Jason Grills, you got a point, and you are still up here, and you're still alive and well. Next up, football breakdown. You are in the mix. Jason Grills, you will go first. Or football breakdown, you will go first. Jason Grills, you will go second. You guys seen the topic we got. Carmelo Anthony versus T-Mac. Mars, you want to do better? How should we phrase this? What's the most fair way to phrase this?
Career?
Do you want to? Yeah, I mean, it's up to them. But they
better score?
Who's had a better career? Who's a better player? Who's a better scorer? Let them decide what they want to discuss.
Career?
What do?
I think player.
I think careers. I'm gonna be honest. I think career is probably.
Yeah, career
is quite. I think player is quite impossible.
Yeah, career is kind of impossible to argue for Tracy McGrady. No disrespect. So I would argue probably a better scorer or better player at their peak.
All right, we're gonna go better scorer.
Okay.
Better scorer at their peak. Carmelo or T-Mac. Football breakdown. You're kicking things off. You got 40 seconds. Your time will start when you do. Let's go.
Okay. At their absolute peak, T-Mac's 100% the better scorer. In the league that consisted of a prime Kobe Bryant, you had a prime related to prime Shaq. T-Mac averaged the most points in the league in 32 points per game. Carmelo, I don't believe, ever averaged above 30. T-Mac had everything. He could attack the basket. I think he was a more athletic player. He can shoot the mid-range fade. He had a 3-ball, a nasty handle at 6'11", almost 7 foot. Was always a versatile scorer, especially we saw that scoring explosion when he was in Houston, even when he was past his prime and he shot with 13 points in a minute. T-Mac really had everything. He was going band for Kobe in terms of skill set, ability, versatility, whereas I think Melo's primarily just an outside.
Time. All right, Jason Grills, you got Carmelo Anthony, or if you want to make a better T-Mac argument. But one thing I know you got is 40 seconds, and I know your time will start when you do.
I'm gonna make a better argument. I'll be honest. I'll make a better argument. I couldn't see a path for Carmelo. I thought about it the whole time. But I think
Hold on, wait. Restart his time, Chill. Restart his time. Go ahead.
From the top.
All right, it's a first for everything. Let's see how this goes.
I think T-Mac's a better scorer than Carmelo Anthony because I think we gotta go out the fact that T-Mac probably even when he was in Orlando, where the talent was very, very bad for him, I think that he was still miles ahead of what anything Carmelo was doing. I think he was still the 3-level scorer we always saw. I think the fact that Carmelo kind of stagnated offenses a lot in the time, the fact that he's more of a black hole and he wasn't as he didn't have more tricks in the bag than someone like T-Mac. And I think T-Mac just had things that were borderline unstoppable. You can't stop him from getting into the rim. When his 3-point shot was going, he was kind of impossible to deal with. And then with the fact that he can actually pass and stuff made it so it opened up the scoring a little more.
Time.
I'll go first. Football one.
Football saying T-Mac was 6'11", 7 foot is throwing me off.
That was wild as hell when I heard that.
That's really throwing me off.
He's
That's
not
just
that
not
big.
true. That's just
No,
not
he
true.
isn't. No,
And football
he's
said
not
that before on Open Gym, and I've said the same thing. So that.
Well, to be
off.
fair, have you seen T-Mac in person?
Oh, you're right. I haven't. And everyone.
I
who's
have
taller
seen
than that,
T-Mac in person. He is
everyone
not
looks
close to
6'11".
6'11". He is not. I have seen T-Mac in person, and he is not close to 6'11".
Like, so that throws me off.
If he's 6'9", isn't he close to 6'11"? It's pretty close.
That doesn't mean he's 6'11". But I do think football probably made the overall better argument, bringing up averaging 30 in that era. How Melo was never really close to that. And then saying that Jason saying Melo just didn't have as many tools in the bag is something I don't think is true. So I'm gonna go with football because I think he just made the overall better argument for T-Mac. But that 6'11" stuff that's bad.
Chill.
Football.
Pin.
Football.
Everybody went football?
Up here, yeah.
Both judges did too. Jason, I got you though. I was going with you. I think you did a way better job than football.
Football said all the points I wanted to say, honestly. So I had to really think to my mind.
You should have just went with Melo. You should have just.
I thought about Melo. I'm be honest. I couldn't see a world where I can convince myself.
Yeah, you could have went straight to the playoffs.
You don't need to convince yourself. You just need to.
You could have went straight to the playoffs with in 2009.
3 rounds. Zero.
That felt like such a bad faith.
No. So again, just for
Shit,
argument,
you need to be bad faith. You trying to win with the underdog? What the hell?
it might not work. Yeah, when you're going through this, like you could easily, because T-Mac has no playoff resume, so you literally just could have went to 09 with Melo and just explained transferability and all that stuff, and you could have just like made a great argument.
McGrady did play in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but his, he just narratives. Remember, like you could have easily just went into like the Western Conference Finals versus Kobe versus Tim Duncan versus boom, and it could have just made it up, and then versus the Heat, which LeBron didn't play well in that series for some of those games. Melo did. Melo had 41.
I'm not bringing that up. I'm not bringing that one up. No,
why not? Melo wasn't great. Melo wasn't great in that series, but he had that game where he had like 40.
I think Jason Grill just did what T-Mac did in every single playoff series he was in. He blew it. Sorry.
Yo,
T-Mac hate is crazy.
Yo, to me, you could have definitely made a Melo argument. And won too, but either way it goes.
Could you have used USA basketball in part of your argument?
So is football in the PCL now? Has football officially made it into the PCL?
Could you have used Syracuse, the title run?
Jason, you are going to the end of the line. You still do have a point, but football breakdown. You have now been inducted into the PCL. You did it, my man. You did it. So, Jordan will have an opportunity to draft you, or whoever he chooses first. That's the team that you will go on. He had a higher pick, Swiper. He had a higher pick.
Man,
but Jordan isn't here.
Yeah, he's not.
I'm here.
All right, you know what, Swipey, you got football breakdown there
because Jabbar wasn't there. So
no, wait. I'm sorry.
How does that work?
When is the voting?
Jordan's in Bulgaria right now. How is that?
What do you mean? When does the voting happen?
He's on to have a
So how does he pick who he wants?
Football breakdown has advanced into the PCL tier. So now he is. So now he's in the pool.
When are we
the
voting,
next person that wins?
Yeah.
What do you mean? When are we voting?
You said it's.
Well, you just get whoever Jordan doesn't want. There's no vote.
I know, but when is he selecting?
Whenever he wants to. Whenever he.
Oh,
wants
okay.
Perfect.
Football, it has been real. I appreciate you for coming up here and dominating these guys.
Can I say just one thing?
The floor is yours, brother.
If it's a shame that I couldn't fight Rezel. I may have lost. Guess we'll never know.
Football breakdown, baby. Hey, football. If you want to stick around for a bonus round, I'm the best at going overtime and stuff like that. I will make that happen for you. But as of right now, we do got to move on because we have one more person that has to get into the PCL. And it's going to happen today, right here, right now. The next two people that we have up are MTEL. And we'll see if the party's still going on or not. But it's on you, Amir.
All right. It's actually, they did not play any music for like 30 minutes, and now they're back, but it's not loud. So I hope it just stays down like
Wait
that.
a minute.
Me,
Hey, real quick, can I ask a quick question?
Oh, yeah, talk to us.
I've been thinking about this, right? So if one of us was to win 3 in a row, that means one of us would have to beat Rez, right? So
yes.
If that was to happen, so you mean whoever wins 3 in a row right now, you would have to hope that Rez doesn't lose again?
Or you guys just continue to pop Rez.
That's tough.
Don't let Rez score. Small boxes.
Basically, Red's fate is in his hands. There's only so much.
Literally.
Red's fate is in his hands. Right?
Okay.
I mean, well, you guys' fate's in your hands too. All you got to do is keep winning.
Well, not really, because if they win 3 straight, they still have to get
that's
off.
what I'm saying. Marcy's what I'm saying.
There's only so much they can do. Rez is going twice, no matter what. Rez has 2 more.
And he started last, so he was already at the biggest disadvantage.
I started last. I actually was last.
Did you started last?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, put some points on the board.
Anyway, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I'll put it like this: if any of you guys reel off 3 straight, we'll do an automatic play-in. Okay.
Can we go before Can we go before they turn the music up? So.
All right, let's go. All right, MTEL, you're first. Amir, you're second. As you guys see on the screen, the best European to play in the NBA. Amir, I will give you a second, my friend, to think it through.
Wait, you said he's going first, right?
No, you're going first.
I'm going first. Okay. Okay, I'll go.
Chill. Timer. You got it? Yep.
All right. So the best European player to ever play in the NBA is Nikola Jokic, and the reason is because he's clearly, or at least arguably, the best player in an entire era, as opposed to being like third or fourth or fifth best player. And yes, Giannis is up there as well. Dirk is up there. But the edge for Jokic is the playoffs, because Giannis keeps getting injured in the playoffs. And that to me is what separates Jokic from Giannis. And what separates him from Dirk is the superiority to his own era, not the superiority of his era, superiority of him to his own era compared to Dirk. Dirk, of course, he competed against Tim Duncan and Kobe, but still, Jokic is just up there. He's the best.
Time.
MTEL, you have 40 seconds to rebuttal. You ready to rock?
You muted, bro.
You're muted.
Real quick, does Hakeem count?
No.
Does an African count?
It's
That's the question.
it's European. It's best
Hey, Mark,
European.
there's no way that they don't know this. There's no way that y'all don't know the African.
Hey, who's the best European? Does an African count?
He went to
No.
Spain once. He been to Spain.
There's no way y'all don't know this.
He was European for a weekend.
Here we
I'm
go.
not
Let's
gonna
go.
lie.
All right,
You starting on negative points right now. I'm telling you.
all right.
L geography. Okay.
Okay, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm just about to go with Wembanyama. Why am I going with Wemby? Because I think he has a higher ceiling than Jokic. Jokic was a great first pick to be able to choose, but I'm going with Wemby because I think he has a higher capability to be a best player of all time. Right now, he's one of the best defensive players in the NBA already, and it's only been 2 years for him into the league. The only other person that you could debate is up there with him is Rudy Gobert, but I think the strides that Wemby's going to be able to make offensively, the fact that he's going to actually have good teammates to put around him, and his career trajectory, I just think he has the best chance to be the best European player of all time.
A man one. Keep it pushing. A man one.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
MTEL, you do know Giannis Antetokounmpo exists, right?
A man one.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki?
Bro, I couldn't think of European players off the top of my head. I ain't gonna lie.
A man one.
Yeah.
One.
All right. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, chill. Who you got? No, we still got to go through the voting process.
I don't even
Chill,
want there to be a voting process. Please go to that.
Like, we will know what we
good.
know who won.
Please.
Push it
Chill.
on.
I couldn't think of any European players.
Chill. Who do you got?
Ron.
Swiper. Who do you got?
Amir by default.
All right. That's that. MTEL, maybe we'll see you again. Maybe we won't. All right, Bulletproof. The party is still going.
Swipe
You
right,
got
I just
one
voted
right
against
now.
Jokic.
You hear the music? It's so loud now.
I mean, you can forfeit your time.
No,
It's
we didn't
okay.
vote against
We
Jokic.
could use a little background music. It be getting dry up here sometimes. So let's make it happen. Drago, you back in the building. It's on you first. And the question that we got, hold on, wait. Let me dig in the chat.
They're saying a really good one. They're saying KD versus Kawhi. That's one that I think would be quite interesting.
The first person that typed this in was Culture Bandit about 20 minutes ago. So since Mars co-signed it, we gonna rock with it. We got KD versus Kawhi at their peak. Who was the better player? Or better career? Who was the better player at their peak? KD versus Kawhi. Drago, it's on you first. Amir, you get the rebuttal second. Chill, the time starts when they start. Oh, wait. Multi Kenny wanted me to say Amir smoked on that MTEL pack. He said, I need this said.
That was so unnecessary.
He said, I need this said. Shout out Multi Kenny. It's on you, Drago. Your time will start when you do.
All right, the best player of these two are clearly KD. He is, for lack of a better, like, you can always like just rely on KD at his peak. You can actually rely on him being healthy, even at Kawhi's peak. Like he still got hurt. Like in 17, he got hurt. In 19, he got hurt with the knee. For the playoffs was a little bit limited. But let's talk about KD as a player. You know how efficient a scorer he is. 27 per game. That level of scoring, that level of versatility where he can play on any team as like just fit in with LeBron, Curry, or any of these good players. Again, like I talked about, if you want to win a championship, he can just fit with anyone. And he's not a slouch on defense, just to say that.
Time.
Amir, your time starts when you do, buddy.
So he said KD, right? Because I barely.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going with Kawhi first. So the reason I'm going with Kawhi is basically he said Kawhi got injured, but KD also got injured at his peak both times actually. 2014 after the MVP season, he got injured, and 2019 as well. And on the other hand, we're not talking about when injured, we're talking when on the court. Kawhi Leonard won a championship as the best player on his team, clearly, and also outside of the championship, he's a better defender. He's a great scorer. Yes, maybe not as good as KD, but he's very close with a higher gap in terms of almost everything else. He's a very underrated rebounder too, even though he's much smaller than KD. He can pretty much play all decisions from 2 to 4, as opposed to KD, who's just.
All right, Amir, that is the time. Fellas, you know what to do. Kenny, real talk, send me through your votes. Chill, who are you rocking with first?
I think Bulletproof made a really good argument for Kawhi Leonard. The fact that he stayed off the injury stuff and not stayed off it, brought up the injury stuff with KD also, and stayed on what he did during that time. That these two guys were at their peak. I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that was a really good point. I'm going to go with Amir.
Swiper?
Yeah, Yalmar, I think Amir won, but I just want to give you a just a quick pointer. So if you set up your main point, like as soon as you start talking in short form like that, I think you'll be able to build a more solid argument around what you're doing. Yeah, because I think you actually make good points in all of your debate. But I think it's just getting a sticking point and then building off of that would help you instead of starting off with like injuries. Because then you got to the basketball and you could easily start off with the NBA Finals scoring, like playoffs, like Golden State, any leverage, like whoever, and you could have gone there. So I'm going with Amir, and I think he made a more salient argument for his.
Yeah, I'll fault that one. That's my bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you both made pretty bad arguments. Once again, this is one of those rounds. But Bulletproof had it. Bulletproof. You got Bulletproof.
Mars, your vote doesn't matter, but who would you have went with?
I'll be quick. Yeah, I think Amir counted.
Yo, he just quit?
I mean, you said it didn't matter. I mean, I guess. But
no.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ski. He just left.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said it didn't matter. It's over. But
no,
yeah,
I mean, it's not over.
I know what you meant, Ron. I know what you meant, Ron. But I'm trying to finish. Yeah, I think Amir counter on the injury point in the first 5 seconds definitely hurt Yamani. I think Amir overall made some really good points. I don't think either one were like perfect in their debate. I think both of them probably think KD's better, to be honest. But yeah, I got Amir. I just think he counted Yamar's half of his time in 5 seconds. That kind of helps him a lot in that regard.
All right, he just came back. I'm talking about he left the studio completely, not the stage.
We know what you meant.
Maybe his internet got disconnected. How you know?
All right, well, I don't know. He's back now, so
there you go.
Shout out
Amir's
to him.
on 3 now,
All right.
or is he on 2?
Yeah. Amir, you got 3 points.
How do you get 3 points?
No, he got 2. He got 2.
Oh, he's got 2. Okay.
He beat MTEL and he beat
He didn't win
man
before?
Draco.
He lost this first round?
No, he didn't. He hasn't got a point yet.
Okay.
All right. Next up, it is. Whew, hey, Amir. You better keep the momentum rolling, buddy, because
he doesn't have any choice. Yeah, he doesn't have any choice.
Hey.
This I have to lock in Kobe mode.
If you lose, it's over. Literally, if you lose, it's over.
Rez.
With the injury I'm playing through.
Yeah, you are playing.
I don't want to hear anything but excuses. Come on.
Nah, he playing hurt right now, man. He playing with a torn meniscus right now.
Don't be showing them that. Don't show weakness.
quite-
That's not
quite
very
well done.
Mamba mentality. Come on, man.
I mean, everyone knew Kobe was dealing with stuff. He just played through it and dominated. But everyone knew.
Rez, if you win, you move into the PCL. You have 3 right now. Amir, if you win, not only do you knock Rez to the end of the line, you have 3 points. All right. So the question is, and right now, just so everybody knows, Rez has 3, Amir has 2, Jason and Drago both have 1 point as well. Daniel, Small Boxes has not scored, and MTEL has not scored yet. All right, y'all. The next question I got for you two. It is on you first, Rez. Who is more skilled? Kyrie Irving or Stephen Curry?
Kyrie Irving's more skilled. He's the better ball handler, one of the best shooters of all time. Steph Curry's a much better shooter. That's one skill, 3-point shooting. Mid-range is close. Touch around the basket. Curry might be more efficient, but I still think that Kyrie, I don't even know if he's more efficient. Kyrie has more moves around the basket. I think Curry's smarter with how he plays, but Kyrie's manipulation of ball handling, way better than than Steph's. And I think the layup is where it's the difference. The layup package Kyrie has is just more acrobatic, more skillful. So I think Kyrie's the best ball handler of all time. Curry might be the best shooter, and Curry's a great ball handler too, but Kyrie's a top 5 shooter of all time as well. And it's the layup package that I think evolves him. Also, I think Kyrie's more skilled defensively. Faster hands, especially now he's the better defender. I think he's better evading screens.
Time. All right. Bulletproof. It's time for you to go. You have 40 seconds. Your time will start when you do.
All right. So the reason I'm going with Curry is if we define skill as something that can be learned, skill for Curry is better because Kyrie is very athletic. As for Curry, he's not as athletic. He can do everything that Kyrie can do. And then the thing that needs to be learned that actually nerfed most players in league history, shooting, Curry not only perfected it, he did it better than everyone else. From everywhere on the court, something that can be learned, he perfected it. That is the definition of skill. And also the other attributes, which he came into the league being talked about as not being a great ball handler, a great passer, a great point guard. He did all of that. And he also has the floater, one of the craziest floaters ever.
Time.
Bro, that was Kobe against Phoenix.
Yeah, I think Amir won.
Yeah.
It'll be very short and quick. I think Kyrie is more skilled, but I think Amir made the much better argument.
Pin?
I got
you said
Yeah, I don't know what Mars is saying, but
I'm saying I think Amir won. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why though. Like, what's it just?
Because your argument pretty much was saying that somehow the gap in layup skill was larger than shooting.
No, that's not what I said. I said Kyrie was the best ball handler, just like how Steph's the best shooter, and the difference is the layup.
Steph's the top 5 shooter.
And defense.
I
said Kyrie was a top 5 shooter.
Yeah, that's what I said. You said Steph was the greatest shooter, but Steph's the top 5 shooter. Kyrie's the best ball handler, and then you said Steph's a good ball handler too. Then you said for 4 seconds Kyrie's a more skilled defender. Then ran out of time. And what I'm saying is, when we're talking about overall skill, I think Amir did a better argument of talking about how Steph learned his skills and what he came into the league as and what he developed as, bringing up the athletic differences between Kyrie and Steph. I do think that was a major point that he brought up. And then I also think you missed a whole lot of stuff when you just minimize it to finishing around the rim with skill, ignoring Kyrie's post game, ignoring the diversity in the mid range. You ignored a whole lot of things to make the argument for Kyrie and kind of honed it in on mid range skill and variety and ignored everything else. And then also Amir bringing up the fact that Steph perfected shooting, which is arguably the most skilled part of the game, I do think is a better argument than what you did. So,
but just because Steph improved his skills doesn't mean he's a better skilled player than Kyrie. I don't care that he was a bad ball handler and became a good ball handler.
True.
He still was never close to Kyrie.
I never made the argument.
I know, but that was one of the points you made.
No, what I said was he brought up the points of Steph developing ways to become that level of skilled player, whereas Kyrie had the athletic advantages that Steph didn't.
I don't think Kyrie had the athletic
Mars and Riz. Mars and Riz.
Because there was only one round.
Mars and Riz, do you guys want to debate on who actually won the debate? I can give you guys 40 seconds in a week.
Amir. I just think Clear is crazy, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did I say Clear? Whoops.
Chill. Who do you got?
I'm going with Amir too. I think that he made a better argument about learning the skill. That's where he got me at. I think that Riz kind of stayed with just layups and getting buckets.
I said he was the best ball handler of all time, guys. Is that not a skill?
We heard you.
We did hear.
So don't say just a layup.
Swiper, who you got?
You did say layups getting to the bucket.
Reza, you getting
That's all you talked about. You ain't talking about his versatility as
acrobatic skills around the basket.
You didn't talk about him as a bucket. You didn't talk about how he gets his buckets. You just talked about layups and ball handling.
Swiper, who you got?
Well, to be more, I think a little bit pragmatic on here, I actually thought Reza had a better argument in some stretches. I actually think Amir, what he should have focused on was the off-ball stuff, and I think that would have swung a lot because I think the shooting gets a little bit valued in terms of the totality. I think it's close. Just on their respective arguments on the skill level, I think I'm going to go with Reza here, but I do think Amir also made a salient point himself.
Yeah. All right. So as of right now, me, Swiper, and Pin, all three went with Reza, but Mars, Chill, Multi-Kenny, and Real Talk, all four went with Amir. So Reza, unfortunately, buddy, you're going to the end of the line. Amir, bulletproof.
No, he ain't here.
He's also going to the end of the line.
At the buzzer.
You just saved the day. Well, you extended the day, but like how Mars said, you're also going to the end of the line. So
Yeah, this is like making a game tying shot to make it to overtime, only to lose in overtime. So job's not
Ron,
finished.
Yeah, you might not lose in every time.
Ron, what's the bracket right now? Like it's just where everybody is currently slotted.
like how many points they have?
Yes, sir.
So right now we got Daniel Boxes. He got 0. Jason Grills got 1. That actually is the next matchup. Then we got MTEL. He has 0. Drago has 1. And then Rezel and Amir all have 3, or each have 3.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We got Jason Grills and we got Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
The next question I have for you guys is you need 50 points in an NBA game. Everyone is healthy. Who are you picking to get that 50 points for you?
Everyone.
Jason, currently. And everyone's healthy.
Currently?
Everyone's healthy. Currently. Jason, it is on you. You got 40 seconds. And then Daniel, it's on you.
I think I can easily say it's Joel Embiid. I think healthy Joel Embiid, I think it's very impossible to ever stop him from scoring. I think that guy is way too big, is way too strong. I think the fact that we actually saw him when he was healthy and he was performing like the best scorer in the league. He was scoring 50s, he was scoring 40s, he scored 70, and then he was like, he averaged like 33 or something like that season. I think that it was just a big scoring gap between everybody in the league and him right now. I think that his playoff scoring, especially with him being able to draw free throws the way he can, is borderline like impossible. His shooting from all 3 levels is impossible to deal with, and just how big and strong he is as well.
Time.
Okay.
Small boxes, talk to us. 40 seconds.
Okay. Well, my pick would be Luka Doncic, because not only is he the best scorer in the league, and he's been the best scorer in the league for 3 or 4 years, he's also a primary ball handler. So it's easier for him to go into his offense and to generate shots, as he is the one who's bringing up the ball on most possessions. And I just think he's a more effective shooter than Joel Embiid. He's a more willing, high volume scorer, and I just think he is more likely to score. I think he's more likely to score 50 points than Joel Embiid.
Time.
All right, there we go, fellas. Jason Grills, small boxes. Who are we taking? Chill, I'm gonna start with you.
I'm going to take Jason. I think that small box is tripped up at the 80-yard line. I mean, he was going somewhere with it, and then he just kind of got thrown off the track. I think Jason actually made a more compelling argument. So I'm going to go with Jason.
Mars?
I think small boxes reacted to my face, and that's what caused him stuttering.
Don't let the people in the background screw you, y'all. Don't worry about
that. Or it was just convenient timing. I don't know.
I thought I was out of time. I thought I was like running out of time.
I
didn't want to start another point before keeping.
I like the point that small boxes made about being a primary ball handler. I do think that's a big point for Luka. But then he said that Luka's a more willing volume scorer, and I don't agree with that at all. So I think bringing up the unstoppability of Joel Embiid and then talking about what Joel Embiid has done when healthy does lead me to going with Grills. So yeah, I got Grills.
Yeah,
small
Grills. Volume shooter.
I got Grills.
My bad.
Swipe it.
Small box. I thought you make an excellent point with the on ball stuff. I thought you were about to go into it there and also say who has more 50-point games over the last 5 years, which is Luka. But yeah. I do think, like Jason, just your overall mark, again, health. I understand health, Mars. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, Jason, I think your argument was good from, for what you were supposed to do. You executed well, so I'll give you that by slightly, and I think you won that one. But small box,
I wouldn't expect even one of them to know who has more 50-point games off the top of their heads. To be fair,
right?
Like we could look
that
up.
I didn't know that, honestly. I didn't know that.
Ron,
you're muted, brother.
You're muted.
Small boxes. Unfortunately, you got to go back to the end of the line. Jason Grills, you got 2 points, and you are cooking up on potentially getting a third. But up next, you have MTEL. Let's get into it, y'all. MTL, you're going first. Jason Grills, you're going second, and this is the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Another Paul George topic.
Okay, at least give you that. That's funny.
Both Pauls against each other. Paul George versus Paul Pierce. MTL, you are first. You got 40 seconds. Talk to us about who is the better player.
Better player? Okay. So obviously most people would know I have Paul George in this conversation. I think Paul George is a better player all around than Pierce. He's a better defender. I think he's a better playmaker than Pierce. I think in a lot of ways he's a better scorer too. I think that he's better with the ball in his hands, better as a spot up shooter. I feel like he has very good impact to win it. I think the only reason why we don't view him higher is because he had to play against teams like the Miami Heat back in his early years. Then he took the injury, and honestly, I feel like injury is the only thing that ever derailed his career. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, I think we would view Paul George way higher than that.
Time.
Grillionaire. It's on you. You got 40 seconds.
I think it's Paul Pierce off the fact that I think Paul Pierce, his floor was always a lot. I say it's a lot more stable, a lot higher than whatever Paul George was, especially in the playoffs. I think Paul George, his less counters, I think that he had than Paul Pierce. I think Paul Pierce was in general more better as a scorer. I think the fact that he actually was a better passer. I think that he wasn't a better defender than Paul George. He didn't reach the exact heights, but I also think that Paul Pierce, as a whole, will keep you through a game. He'll keep you steady. He won't have the lows that Paul George would have. Paul George sometimes would go off a cliff, and I think Paul Pierce never really consistently had that type of inconsistencies.
All right. That's 40 seconds, fellas. Paul George versus Paul Pierce. Chill. You gonna kick us off again. Who are you voting for?
This one was a little bit difficult for me. I'm gonna take Grills.
All right. One for Grills. Swiper.
Yeah, this wasn't the best between the both of you, but I do think but it was, I do think that Grills that you ended up landing your plane a little bit better there, but I think that I'm giving it to Grills here.
Pin?
I'm gonna go with MTEL.
Mars?
I'm kind of with Swiper. Don't feel it was the highest quality round. I feel like, damn, I actually don't know. I'm gonna go with MTEL. Yeah, I'm gonna go with MTEL. I think acknowledging the defense and then talking about the shooting stuff. And I don't think Grills really addressed that. He kind of just conceded the defense and didn't really address the shooting. So I'm gonna go with MTEL.
All right. Real Talk went with MTEL. Multi-Kenny went with Grills. I went with MTEL. Grills, this one was tough. It was tough.
4-3.
There's no way we gave you two Paul to maybe go against Paul.
Yeah, because I swear you like the
crazy.
biggest Paul George fan.
That's
And, like,
so
you had to go against him
crazy,
twice.
That is crazy because
They're conspiring against you.
Ron,
man.
you
They're
nasty
conspiring
for this
against
one, yo. You
I
be
tried.
going against Paul George.
I did.
Don't feel bad,
I
bro.
did.
Come on, yo.
I didn't know he was going to pick Paul George. I thought he was going to pick Paul Pierce. But either way it
they're
goes.
conspiring against you, girls.
I've been arguing Paul George for since I got up here, yo. All right, man.
Yeah, but now you're the
I
Paul
guess.
George hater because we.
I'm trying to do my best to give you two Paul George topics.
Real quick, because I'm sick of talking about this. Grumsy, is that your name? Just so you know, today, the owner of Aspirations was in court and under oath. He took the fifth when asked, was Steve Ballmer a contributor to what was going on? He took the fifth. I just want to put that on your mind.
Didn't happen today.
Not today. I'm sorry. It's news today. Let me rephrase that. It's news today.
Damn.
Let me rephrase
Hey,
that.
well,
It's news
Steve
today.
Ballmer better go drink a fifth because it's up.
It's news today. Yes.
All right, y'all. Well, what's news right now is that Jason Grills has 2 points, but he's at the end of the line now. MTEL, you now are on the board. And up next is none other than Skeet Drago. Skeet Drago is up next.
Drago.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. It's MTail and it's Drago. Drago is on you first. You got 40 seconds. MTail, you will go second. This topic is from Petty Hardaway. Petty said, Bill Jackson or Greg Popovich?
Skeet. Is it Skite or Skeet?
Scoot.
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 Okay.
Scoot.
Well, it's Drago. It is. Okay. Got it.
All right.
Gotcha.
You
Gotcha.
said Papa Phil Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Let's go. So I'm picking Phil Jackson here as the better coach. I think you saw it when in the early 90s when he got Jordan and Pippen, the things he did, especially like making Mike his best and getting him to pass his teammates. But then even later, what he did with Pippen defensively is maybe the best work I've seen of a coach. Like how he deployed Pippen in so many ways. You can see it in your throwback Thursday game against Utah. Like how he came off as like that trap on the pick and roll where he just like would either double or just play it off. I think that's Phil Jackson's masterpiece.
Time.
All right, MTail, your time starts when you do. What's up, Swiper?
Chill. Make sure you turn your notifications off, man. Your sugar mama's so damn.
I ain't tripping on that.
Hold on, what's going on?
Nothing.
What's talking about?
I'm about to go talk about Greg Popovich. That's what's about to happen.
That's
All right, chill. All right, chill. Throw that timer up. Let's go. So you, MTail?
All right. So obviously, I'm going with Popovich. I would have chose Popovich either way. I think that the idea that Popovich has coached his teams into a situation where now we even view six men that was on his team as potentially better players than players like Allen Iverson or other starter players. A lot of people view Manu Ginobili as a very high player, as a player that came off the bench. I feel like a lot of that has to do with coaching, and the spots that he put him in was to set him up to be very successful. The fact that he has won 5 championships with the Tim Duncan era, and then the fact that he was able to go over and even transition into Kawhi. And if he would have had Kawhi even longer, he could win more. And now you have Wemby
Time
to win more.
All right, y'all. Talk to
time quickly, right?
Yeah, boy, that was fast.
All right, chill. Who you starting off with?
Drago. I think Drago did a good job in making an argument for how he implemented what Scottie Pippen was able to do in that offense and in that defense, and how much better they were because of it. And I think he did a good job in that.
Pin?
Yeah.
Or go ahead, Swiper. No, go ahead, Swiper. You got it.
My bad. I thought you were looking at. Wait, my fault. But yeah, first off, that was a very hard topic because I think debating coaching is one of the hardest things to do personally. So like, just getting on there and being able to do that. I will go with MTail, but like I said, it's just more so. I think, respectfully, Mars has talked about this before when you're talking about older things versus newer things. We've seen more pop in more recent days, and so like there's like a gap between like the two in terms of like where they were in the 90s. I mean, we just don't have as much film, respectfully, on like some of the stuff he was doing, and I think Popovich has a reputation that he was able to tie into from getting the most out of his bench and players that are kind of on the fringe of the roster that he highlighted. So I'm gonna go with MTail here, but you did not make a bad argument though, Yalmar.
Pin?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like this, to talk about Phil and to barely even bring up the off-court stuff and how he was able to motivate guys using like friction and psychology and stuff like that, to me was a superpower. That not being brought up, it feels like I got to give it to MTail by default, unfortunately.
I mean, to be fair, they only had 30 seconds or 40 seconds. But all right, you
off-court psychology. It takes 1 second.
All right. All right, Mars, who you got?
I echo Swiper's sentiment. It's always hard to discuss coaches. There's so much we don't know, especially when there's 40 seconds and something so nuanced. I think both of you guys did a good job. I think I just favored Yao Money's argument. I think he went more into as much detail as possible in 40 seconds, talking about like the way Scottie Pippen was deployed on defense. Whereas I think MTail went more broads, which there's no knock in that because you got 40 seconds. It's a smart thing to do, but I do think I just preferred Yao Money kind of just focusing in on a particular thing and kind of explaining that to the best of his ability within the time. So just a preference of both styles of argument, personally.
Yeah, and so Real Talk went with MTL. Multi Kenny texted me Skeet, so he went with Jalmar. I'm going to side with Jalmar only because the way he broke down that Scottie Pippen in-game tape, and on top of that, said I seen it on Throwback Thursday. You guys seen it on Throwback Thursday. We seen it on Throwback Thursday. The way that he actually broke down an in-game example of how Phil Jackson deployed Scottie Pippen, I really have. Nobody's done that today. And rarely do people do that in an actual argument, especially on the spot, to be able to just go straight to something like that. I gotta go with him. That was fire.
I think both of you guys did as good as you could, considering you had 40 seconds to
Yeah.
discuss legendary coaches.
Yeah.
Right, trying to go a whole career. I thought it
Yeah,
was interesting.
like,
He
yeah.
never brought up Kobe. I was surprised he never brought up Kobe.
Matter of fact, y'all, what I would have did personally, I would have said Phil Jackson was able to get almost to the Eastern Conference Finals, despite the fact that his best player was suspended for 2 years because of gambling issues. I think you would have cooked if you would have brought that up personally. You would have cooked.
We ain't got time to bring that up. So,
Hey, like I said, 40 seconds.
Allegedly, Pablo.
It's hard and it's honest. You have no prep time. Like I would have brought up the psychology part if I knew it and I had a little more time.
According to Real Talk, that would have lost you his vote. So you know, you would have gotten mine. You would have lost Real Talks. I don't know.
I know I'm about to get packed up, but like real quick though, I agree. If I would have had like time to like really think about it, I was really about to really focus on all the role players that he's brought up. The Boris Diaws of the world, the way that he coached. I can't think of his name right now, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I was really about to go deep into like the smaller players, not really so much the stars. I think that's kind of self-explanatory.
All right, MTEL, you may be back up here. You never know, but you're going to the end of the line. My man Drago, you got 2 points, but you have to get a stop right here because you are going up against Reds.
Yeah, and Drago, you better than the point system that you have right now. Like you're better than the points. You just
I don't know how to I don't know there's a way to quantify this, but I swear my guy on money, his strength of schedule has been difficult, man. Like he only has 2 points, but I swear he's
not just strength of schedule, playing in the wind, like rain, the rims tilted, like you know what I mean. Like, are you the best coach of all time? Like,
and it's not getting any easier because you got Reds coming up next. And
wait. Y'all, Mars, that's all you gotta do. The Reds fluster. Just do the fluster thing. Just the pin. Just do that. Because then you gonna start arguing with Mars off the side.
Okay. All right, y'all. This is what we're going to do next. I have a topic, and it is who would you rather start as your franchise player? Paolo Banchero or Evan Mobley? Rez, you going first. Drago, you were second. 40 seconds on the clock.
Show. This should have been the whole show. We should have had the whole, any other stuff we talked about should have been out. This should have been the whole show.
Just fire.
Rez, you got it, big dog. Who you got?
So I'm going to take Paolo Banchero just because I think he has the higher potential. I think as an offensive creator, he just shows more potential than Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's an elite defender, but I don't think his offense is translated as much as you need it to be a first option in the playoffs. While as Paolo's he's gone up in the playoffs. I think Paolo's the more skillful player. I think he's the better lead initiator, passer, scorer. And defensively, there's obviously a gap, but Paolo's never going to be a negative defensively, and he's always going to be able to fit into a great defensive scheme like he does with Orlando. So the fact that he could elevate, I think, an offense, even though, for example, Orlando's offense wasn't as good with him, I think that's more to do with spacing around him. I think if you get shooters around him, he could play like Giannis style.
That's time. Drago, talk to us, man. You got 40 seconds. Let's go.
Right. I'll pick Evan Mobley here. I think the first point is obviously his defense. His defense, a defensive player of the year, caliber player. I think we can all see how good he is, and especially how versatile he is. Like he's not just a Rudy Gobert who just protects the rim. And I know he's more than that. Rudy Gobert is for sure. But he's also switchable and versatile. The second point I'll say here is, even though Evan maybe can't be the first offensive, or he can be the first defensive option on a championship team. Whereas I maybe have my questions for Paolo because of his efficiency scoring. I don't know if he can be that first offensive option, but I know Evan can be the first defensive option. And to close, again, this is about winning championship. And I think Evan Mobley gives you more of that because of his defense.
Time.
All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Chill. Who are you rocking with?
Rez, I think, made a really good argument for Paulo. And
right before he slaps you across the face, watch.
no, I think he made a really good argument for Paulo.
He did.
I'm gonna go with Rez.
Yeah, man.
Who you got, Swiper?
So look, the first argument was phenomenal, Retzel. Like I thought that the points you made, bringing up some of the scoring, especially like the number one option stuff, was great. Yalmar, but I think the point about the defensive stuff, being a defensive anchor, and then you questioned, rightfully so, Paulo's ability to be the number one on a championship level team, the same way Evan can be the lead defensive option on a championship team. I thought that was phenomenal. I thought both of you did really well. Again, just because I think Reza was able to tie into some contemporary matchup, very, very recent examples of his scoring output that he's put out. Man, bro, I think Reza, you won, but it was just like the additional points you were able to squeeze in there about some of the things we've seen as of recent. But again, Yalmar, the argument you made about like the defensive anchor stuff, I think is legitimate and extremely strong. So I got Reza slightly.
Mars?
Yeah, this one was tough. I think probably both of you guys deserve to be in the PCL. I think having Evan Mobley is an uphill battle just to start with, for what it's worth. I think, is it Rez or Rezel?
Rezel.
I think Rezel did a really good job of illustrating how Paolo can contribute within an elite defensive scheme so that you're not losing value with Paolo, although he's not providing defensive player of the year value like Evan Mobley is. And then bringing up how Paolo elevates his game in the postseason and can take on the load as a lead initiator is something that I do think holds a lot of weight when you're talking about being a franchise player. I think Yao Money did a really good job of bringing up Mobley's utility defensively. But I do think just bringing up the levels that Paolo is at right now offensively and then talking about how much room he has to grow and how he's limited by Orlando's spacing and team construct does lead me to slightly favoring Rezel. So I got Rezel, but I think both of you guys did a really good job.
Pin?
I think you both did a great job. This was a great round. I think Rezel's ability to bring up the counterpoints was really elite. Like he was able to predict what you were going to say about Paolo being a weak defender and then offer the counterpoint to that. I also think the playoff rising, I was hoping whoever picked Paolo would bring up the fact that he's been better in the playoffs, and he did. So I think his points, he got off more points. I think his points were better. I'm going to go with Rezel.
If it was up to me, both of you guys would be in the PCL, by the way. I think both of you guys have done
Yeah, I think you're better than football by
I
far.
still think Franz clears, by the way, just so we're clear. I still think Franz, I like Franz, but you know, shit. You got it.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I think you two have been the most impressive. So it's not up to me. I don't have any say in this, but I think you two have been the most impressive.
Well, what if you put all three of them and then Swiper gets to pick who he wants?
Well, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But I think these two are the best debaters and have been the best debaters today.
I would like to say that they both, by the way, this is a shot at my friend Ron. They both, by the way, have been legitimately great on their own merit without getting absolutely glazed to the bone in their opening statements by the host.
Like, shut the hell up, Ron. Shut up, Ron. Thank you very much, Ron.
An orchestra behind you talking. Rezel and Yalmar have, and football did great in his own right, but like just from making points without narratives. Well, I think both of you have done a great job throughout this whole time.
I also think football and Amir did really well as well. I'm not taking anything away from them, but these two I think have been the two best. So just my thoughts.
All right, well, Swiper, now the football's on your team. We'll see if he gets glazed while he's performing on Team Swiper.
No, you said he has to pick
Jordan. Do you think Jordan is not just going to pick Wrestle just to mess up Swiper's team chemistry?
I don't know. We'll have to see. But J Money, I appreciate you for pulling up. Rez, I'm going to holler at you, bro, because you are now officially in the PCL, but I will let you know exactly what team you are on. Everybody else that came up here and participated, salute to you. Jason Grills, you already know. I'll probably see you next Hall of Fame Friday. Bulletproof, I'll probably see you next Hall of Fame Friday. MTEL, you came and did your thing. Football Breakdown came, cooked, and got up out of here. Small Boxes, appreciate you for joining up on the Hall of Fame tier. We are now in the Crunch Time chat segment. You guys will get more info on what happens with the PCL. But just know, this was just a snippet of what's going to happen next Friday. And it was fire. I enjoyed this.
Me too. I thought this was very fun.
Next PCL, just fans? No panelists?
I mean, this is why I said when Chill said not anyone can come up here and do it. I'm trying to. There's many people in the chat who can do. These guys were impressive. Like, and these guys just. I don't want to say regular chat members, but regular chat members. Like these guys just in the chat watching us and shit. They did a really good job. So
Mars,
I don't think it's that difficult to do what we do.
Well, Mars, they're not really
talented.
regular chat members. They're Hall of Fame chat members.
I mean, shit. Rezu's now in the PCL and he became a Hall of Famer 2 hours ago.
Yeah, Rezel. Hey, that's how you do that.
we not calling him Rezel anymore. We calling him Rocky.
And I personally think that there's
underdog.
There today has proven that there are lanes of debaters. There is lanes based on information and resourcing information, and then really truly tying into narratives and using crowd work. Both are very useful in the PCL. You got to be able to do both of them to a degree. But even today, I think there was like evidence of both of those things, and they all worked out in their own way. So, definitely have to have different tools in your box.
I do think it's unfortunate that Amir had 3 points and didn't get to like go against Rezu for that final spot. But yeah,
air attacks.
Well, I mean, if they were both tied on 3, I think it made sense for them to go against each other to see who gets that final spot. But
For real, I don't even think Amir lost. I don't think. I don't think Rezo lost that debate that y'all said he lost. So that's just me. I think he went 5-0.
I agree. I think he went 4-1.
Yeah, I think he went 4-1, but he did amazing. So.
All right, y'all. Well, we got super chat. So shout out to everybody that's tapped in. Shout out to everybody that enjoyed them PCL tryouts. And let's go ahead and get into it. The first chat.
15 minutes after we supposed to be out of here, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to overtime. Looks like my time going up. Jonathan Frazier said, how about the ladies in Indy? Let's go. Ox better watch out because Kelsey and Aaliyah are coming. Also, Ron, you freaky stink man.
Freaking stink man. You freaking stink man. Comma.
You the Connecticut son?
Man.
You the Connecticut son?
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, I think the Atlanta Dream wanted to go home. I called it in the fourth quarter when I saw them, and they just looked like they were exhausted. They were poorly executing, and I think the Indiana Fever have gone through everything this season, and for them to be missing 2 of their best guards, and Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark, to do this, yo,
Lexi Hall, wow, what a finish. Kelsey Mitchell, some of the buckets she was making.
She had 24 points.
Yesterday. Yeah. Some of the buckets she had yesterday were incredible. And then Aaliyah Boston. Now, to be fair, and I feel really bad about this because I've talked to Jordan Canada several times. Did that last play pin when the Aaliyah Boston slip that went up to the rim? Jordan got caught on a cross match, and so she was trying to recover and get back to the guard, but then she left Boston by herself underneath the rim, and that ended up being the bucket to put them away and win the game, bro. But like, that's tough, bro. Like, I know you got a mismatch down there and you don't want to be down there and you want your big to get back there, but you have to stay in position.
Yeah, I mean that turnover from Bree Jones as well. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like just passing into to the cutter to the corner, like these types of things. It just looked like the team, the Fever got better as the game went on. Mm-hmm. We've seen this a few times already in the WNBA. So like the Fever just continued to get better. I have a feeling tonight the Phoenix Mercury are going to do something similar where they're going to storm a comeback, and then we're just going to see. Let's see. But who wanted it got it. I'm gonna put it that way. Who wanted it got it. Who wanted it more got it.
Pin. We're also.
I mean, do you think they have a chance against the Aces, Ron? If they were fully healthy, do you think the Fever could beat the Aces?
I think they could beat them without being fully healthy.
You think so? Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a good series though, but it's definitely gonna be tough for sure.
I'll tell you what, they're not putting a 6'6" rookie on her.
Could even Jackie Young, bro. I think she's about to eat in this series, bro.
Yeah, but Kelsey Mitchell about to get.
Yeah, she's cold, busy. Bro. She's cold. Is she gonna make first team? She'll make second team All NBA.
Yeah, no, I think she's gonna be first team.
Do you think first team? Okay.
Kelsey Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah.
First team All Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Pin, you know one thing. I know that Splash Sports gives everybody the opportunity to win. Some people can't move on. Some people can't go to the PCL. Some people can't go to round 2 of the playoffs. But I know everybody will be able to get into our Week 3 NFL Pick'em for free. And 25 of those people will win out of the $1,500 pot. So once again, click the link in the description. Make your picks. and let fate do the rest. You will compete against the fans. You won't compete against the house, which means if you know more ball than everybody else, you will win a cash prize. So we'll see you guys in the winner's circle. Make sure to download the Splash Sports app, join the Players' Choice Room, join our Week 3 NFL Pick'em for free, and get that money. We'll see you guys on the other side.
By the way, Alicia Gray has never made it out of the first round. Just saying.
Hey.
Damn.
All right, y'all. The next super chat I got is from Brett Bovia. Brett said they were piping crowd noise into the arena against the Bullet Man. Very fun segment, though, overall.
Yeah, bro. I remember when there was that huge scandal where they found that NFL teams were doing that, and there were huge fines handed out. So that is absolutely illegal. So we need to find the person responsible for that.
Shout out Bulletproof, though.
Where's he from?
Egypt.
He's in Egypt currently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Shout out. That's dope.
People tapping in from Egypt. My man down here is from Denmark.
What time is it in Denmark?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
8 or 9 o'clock. I don't know.
Wait, does he know he's still on the screen?
No, I don't think he does. you better take him off.
Well, you do something wild as hell. Yes, Ron. Yes, Ron.
He's still in the background.
Chill, bro. He leaves. I heard the computer.
Joe Money. Can you hear us? Did you know you were up here?
Yeah, I saw you bring me on.
Nah.
Okay.
Ron, look, the lights. Look, do the math. Lights are off. That boy had a strap.
All right, Swiper being disgusting right now. It's not Swiper's nasty.
Swiper's projecting. Okay, Swiper's projecting. That's what projection is. Swiper's like that's what happens when my lights turn off.
Let's read some
people just turn their lights off at 8 o'clock. Swiper, like
moonlighting.
Drago, say it one more time. Say it one more time, Drago, because he ain't hear you. Say it one more time.
It's 8 p.m. I don't have lighting here. I'm sorry.
And what did you say before that? What did you say before that?
Let's read some super chat.
How about we do that? Let's do that.
Sorry, Drago. You're right. You're right, Drago. You're right. Elias 47. He said, "Come on, Ron. Say it with me.
You want me to say it?
Ezzy. Bye. Asia, MF, and Wilson."
Damn.
We don't know what it is, Ron. Like we don't gotta keep doing this. We all know what it is. Next.
Willie Bobcat said, "Nah, Mars. Either you first or you last."
Ricky Bobby.
Bandit SBS said, "Mars talking to Chill how I talk to my kid when they getting simple math wrong during homework."
Chill, when it comes to
I mean, I hope I didn't come across that condescending. That wasn't the intention.
It's the accent.
My apologies, Chill. That wasn't the intention. So I wasn't trying to do that. If that's how.
Well, Chill, when you get frustrated about certain things like that you feel like should be more simple than they are, then that's when you get into your your Gen X bag. And so, you know what I mean? That's the only time it ever shows up.
I don't want to. I won't be. Hey, you little whippersnapper, you don't talk to me like that. No, I'm not doing that. No, absolutely not. I mean, if you're making a point,
you might want to.
No, if you're making a point, if you're making a point, make a point. I just didn't. It just wasn't making sense with me. I'm sorry. There are things that make sense. There are things that don't. So,
man, yo, by the way, this has been the best chat day we've had in quite some time. The chat was very engaged, very positive, and funny. Y'all were funny today.
They weren't
that was the best part.
Towards me.
Funny.
They cooked me for 3 hours.
Yeah, but Pin, it's you though. It's you. Like, there's a reason why the chat.
I was doing okay with the chat.
You guys are nasty.
It is Pin.
No, Pin. During the debate, you were like going like they at some point they expected you to go like into deep frying criticism.
You two suck. Period. That's Pin. You two suck. Like, damn, Pin, hold on.
Well, if they did a terrible job, you tell them you did a terrible job.
I feel Pin was being very harsh. I
was being honest.
If anything, if everyone had to qualify for the PCL through this, and some people didn't just have divine rights to be in the PCL, I feel more of them would have made it, and maybe someone else wouldn't have made it.
I'm gonna say this: it's not me. It's It's not me.
Oh no, I just feel like there's guys like Amir, guys like our guy Young Money over there, who, from what I've seen in the limited sample of just today, do a better job than what I've seen from other people in the PCL.
Like,
so it's unfortunate that
who are you talking about?
Get to
yeah. Who you talking
a bunch
about?
of people.
I'm gonna say the 40 seconds thing. Don't say anything.
Especially with the confines of 40 seconds as well.
I feel like I self-admit I'm not historically PCL, the narrative stuff, I don't do well, but I'm learning. I have to learn how to adjust on the fly with some of that stuff. So for me, like, again, everybody knows, like, Mars knows, when I debated his co-host and we had a conversation about talking in 2009, LeBron versus Luka, but don't include the playoffs. That pissed me off in mid-debate. I was like, what do you mean you don't use playoffs? I'm saying that you got to be able to roll with stuff like that. That just doesn't fly.
And they did this with just finding out the topics on the fly. So no prep time,
facts.
40 seconds, and they've put on a better display than I've seen with people who had a week to prepare.
Facts.
Like, so I think it's unfortunate there was only 2 spots available because these guys did a better job than I would have expected from certain people. So
a lot of y'all were good. None of them, and only one person pulled a pin and conceded the argument before it started. So I'm saying, like, everybody did a really good job today. Everybody did a great job.
If we could open up the round of panelists that you also saw. Sorry, not the round of panelists. The round of PCL contestants that you just saw. Would it have changed maybe your pick of Mustard in the first place?
Well, that's the thing, Penn. I have a higher view of Mustard as a debater because I know what he does on this channel. But PCL's a whole different beast. He might not be as good as like some of these other dudes are. You know what I mean? That's it.
I think three of these guys getting drafted without any dropouts. I'm gonna be honest. I think 3 of them are getting drafted without any dropouts.
Sure.
I'm not saying who would get knocked out. I'm just saying, like, you're adding some very, very good debaters to the PCL. Which
I would
have
for sure drafted Rezu. I'll say that. I would have for sure drafted him.
Well, I didn't have a choice to draft, but I would have.
Speaking of which, Rez just texted me and he said, "Ron, you might as well call me Rocky now, because not only did I slay the dragon, I'm coming for that belt."
Confidence,
and he's cocky too. Like that'll work.
Wait, they're getting a belt for this PCL?
You're giving up your belt.
You lost your mind.
Yeah, you're fine.
Hey, Morris.
I should have 2 belts.
Hey, chill. What you say about the kids?
They never even bothered to give me a second belt.
Hand over the belt, Morris.
You can't be duplicating.
Hand over the belt.
Original.
It's a different PCL. If it's a different
Morris,
it's a different division.
Morris, did you get paid for your PCL victory?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Making sure my Cash App does work. All right. Cultured Bandit sent through a super chat and said, "Make Swiper and Jordan debate for the first pick. You'll get more content out of it."
That'd be fun.
No, we won't.
No.
No, we won't get more content out of that. No, we will not.
I mean, you'd get a debate.
They lost their third pick.
That's all we're gonna get
Obvious.
is a debate. That's all. These dudes is wild as hell. They just want blood all the time.
But yeah, Jordan's gonna get the first pick.
All
so
these
Jordan's
dudes want
gonna
is
pick between
blood. Like we in a
Rezo and
fucking
football, and that's why I think
coliseum
that's who's left.
and off with his head all the time.
I don't think Jordan could work well with football talk. So I'm 100% certain he'd not.
So you're gonna have to team up with Real Talk and football. Woo.
Yeah, but going into that would make a very formidable team though. Shout out.
Versatility.
Yeah.
Well, you do realize whoever you draft onto your team at some point, you gotta
that?
put belts after them too, right? Which of these 2 are you comfortable saying that you could beat?
Getting it here.
I think I have to get better at the PC debating, but I think that starts with me more than it is about the opponents. Though I don't. When you lose, then
I'm just worried about your adjustments, not about
always,
what they do.
Always. Like Penn, you get beaten blown coverages a lot, but like that's your footwork.
No off ball defense.
That's your footwork.
Yo, Kenny, what's going on?
What's up, Kenny?
Not much, y'all. I just wanted to come on here to just talk about the debates and stuff like that real quick, since I was judging instead of competing. The first question I got was, why didn't I compete? Well, I coach cross country, and all the dates that Ron picked me, I have to travel to go to races. So I was like, yeah, I can't do 7 o'clock.
Speaking of traveling, I gotta bounce. Fellas,
all right, chill.
Later.
So, but I think everyone today did good to some degree. I could definitely tell there's a lot of stage fright. Some guys were folding under the pressure a little bit. I think overall, the best arguer was I don't want to call him Drago, but
Riz.
Yeah,
he's right next to you.
Yamar. I think he was the best arguer, especially given the time frame. He made sure to flush out his points, create a start, middle, and end. And then I think y'all are slightly overrating Rezel, but I think he did okay. I think he did okay. I think he did a lot of throwing stuff out there. But he did what he had to in that time frame. So I think the people who made it through, I think there should have been some sort of playoff in the sense of who got 3 votes and things of that nature to like really see who should make it. But obviously time constraints, things of that nature. I think that would have been a slightly different outcome. But overall, the ones who were going to make it made it to that last like bit, got to those 3 points, and those who weren't quite ready for today didn't quite reach there.
Did you ever vote against Grills?
Huh?
Did you ever vote against Grills? I'm just kind of curious.
Against Grills? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, against that Jimmy Butler, Paul George one.
Okay.
Yeah, that for sure. That one, yeah, for sure. That one.
For sure.
That man, Ron, you nasty, yo. You were real nasty for today. That was crazy. Your mic
muted again.
And now you're muted for the 4th time.
I tried to throw you a oop. They wouldn't let you get your guy.
You put me second every time you throw me a oop. Like what?
It allows you to rebuttal.
Ron found out his shows go 3 hours and 20 minutes and thought, damn, that's better than I thought.
Yeah, Ron taking his
that
sweet time right now.
Oh, we pushing it to the limits now. We going 4 hours.
Ron, I'm not gonna be here much longer. So
All right. We get to the super chats. LaFlame said Dub Swiper in a members chat.
Yeah, shouts. And I do appreciate that a lot of people are caught on to how horrifically bad Ron is at agenda pushing at 100% of the time whenever it comes to a certain player. And it happened today expediently. I'm talking about opening segment. Glaze Award was handed out. Just like the glizzy came out and Ron just buttered the spread all over the place. That's just how he goes, man. Shout out to my dog, man. He does it. It is funny. It is funny. He does it for the jokes and he gets good laughs off. But you know what, Ron? One day I believe you'll be bigger than a jester. You ain't got to be a jester all the time, bro. Shout out to my dog.
I don't think he's a jester, but okay.
Thank you,
I'm talking to him. If I was talking to you, I said, remember, you blow coverages. I said, he's a jester. You just have mental errors all over the place.
Yo, Mr. I have the best memory. Did you see yourself get
Yeah,
cooked on X? Did you see yourself get cooked
Hey,
on
real
X?
talk, real talk. Fluster.
I'm not flustered.
All right, so we got a super chat from a dude by the name of Big Ox Media. Big Ox Media said, talk that shit now. Respect Goat Wilson or I'm going to pop up like the boogeyman. Well, that's why you didn't come on the show today? Because nobody slandered Asia?
Nothing to slander.
Shout out Big Ox. Wooly Bobcat said, simple solution. Have them put the gloves on.
Yep.
1 round winner takes all.
Yep.
Mm.
See how people really about it. Love that.
Who wants to do that?
You got your money on Drago, Ron?
No, I think he's saying you and Jordan for the first pick.
Me and Jordan? Box?
He was saying you and Jordan for the first pick.
Nobody needs to see that.
Jordan is like he's in this transitioning to get in shape phase. So,
bro, nobody is signing up for the Houston Rockets versus the Charlotte Hornets over here. Let's just move on.
Oh,
wait, watch this. Look at that. Watch this. You see how nobody laughed? You see how nobody laughed? Not one. Oh, goodness gracious.
I could have sworn that he was just laughing, but you know.
Everyone's laughing right now.
FIFA Boys sent through a members chat and said, Cook, Ron. Salute to the LDBC, Elmo, L Harden. FIFA, I agree with you. Dub FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA is really, shout out.
Tristan sent through a members chat and said, is Jamal Murray a top 10 difficult shot maker?
Yeah, when
y'all got him?
Well, he forces
right now, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
probably I say definitely, yeah.
I mean, I got Steph, KD, Kyrie for sure. I don't think twice.
Is
then you get to like guys like Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan,
Brandon Ingram.
Oh, he's saying in the league?
Probably Donovan Mitchell might be up there too, though.
Jokic?
He'd be up there.
You know me by Jokic.
Jamal just forces tough shots on himself too, though. So like a lot of that self-imposed. Jalen Brunson's another one that does too.
Oh, Jalen Brunson, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
he's borderline.
Yeah, he'd be in and around that conversation.
But Trae Young, probably.
Trae Young definitely got him. All right, Davo sent through a super chat. Davo, you were supposed to become a Hall of Famer and join, But shout out to Davo. Davo said when Swiper's mouth is not full.
Yeah, started with Ron.
When Swiper's mouth is not full, he is actually the best panelist. The diverse knowledge and common sense he brings is a dub.
I think when Swiper doesn't let things trigger him and it just stays on like a point, I think he is probably one of the better panelists. But when he tries to pivot,
I mean, he's literally the MVP. So
yeah. So
hey, Pin, you aren't the only one. Do this back to him.
Also, to that point though, but Ron, I think
they
that's
go
true.
low, we go high. Remember when they
I
go
think
low,
that
we go
when
high?
I think that when we get flustered, we get into our bags, and we know that's when we're at our worst. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That if you let things get to you, then you become the worst version of yourself. When I let things get to me, I become Pin, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I've changed my ways.
You become Swiper. It's not you become Pen. You become Swiper. That's all it is.
All right, Kent Lipscomb Jr. said Chillin' Mars, 03 Duncan or Kobe, or 2025 Luka and Giannis.
No, and Duncan and Kobe or Luka and Giannis, which do
Duncan and Kobe. It wasn't for me, but I'm just saying it.
Yeah, I'll take the 03 duo.
Yeah, facts.
All right, we got some new members. The first is Limited Time Only, became a YouTube member. Shout out to Limited Time. And then R. Wade joined up as a chatter and then upgraded to a Hall of Famer and then upgraded into the PCL.
That's an hour, bro.
So he evolved 3 times in 3 hours.
And now he's Rocky.
This is like the perfect matter of fact.
If he goes on to win the PCL, this is such an amazing investment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he on the Bill Walton right now.
And then we'll never hear from him again, by the way. He'll come win the PCL and we'll just never see him in the chat.
I love that.
He was on his Bill Walton time. That's what he's doing.
If this was an anime show, this would be perfect. This is exactly what it would be.
If you win, I need you to bring the belt to Penn Dance. I need you to bring the belt to Penn Dance. I need you to wear it to Penn Dance, and then I'll give you a chance to go up on stage, go up to stage, hold the belt up, let the filmmakers know what you're doing. You know, we'll give you.
Man, did you hear Mars? Or were you talking through it?
Wait.
I started talking first.
Well, Mars, can you repeat what you said?
No.
Yo. All right, y'all. Adam West sent through a members chat and said the panel's anti-Jokic and anti-Nuggets agenda is getting out of hand. Yo, Ron, L football. Dude can't even play football. That's heat.
But there's only really it's real talk and it's Ron. Ox is way more moderate about this, but Ron and Real Talk are by far like they are absolutely.
Ox doesn't even have Jokic in his top 4.
I know that's fine, but
I got Jokic number 2.
But Ox doesn't talk like you do. You yap constantly and disrupt the show to make points that are not relevant to what's talking in order to talk about Jokic.
Yeah,
just like we saw today. This is
like your 5th Jokic segment and your 4th Ron disrupts shit and disrupts the flow of the show.
It was about Ron. So
yeah, what Penn said.
You'll be the first person to be like, "Oh, we went 40 minutes over because of Ron."
No, the super
20 minutes of that is just him talking.
We're going 40 minutes over because of you two. That's why we're going 40 minutes over.
No, Mr.
Both of you seem to be wanting to talk. God damn.
Like,
Next
bro,
super chat, Ron,
pick
please.
one.
Thank you.
Carlton Harrell became a YouTube member. Shout out to Carlton for joining up. If you haven't become a YouTube member, what are you waiting for? Join up and join the chat. John Cena said the Grizzlies versus the Spurs 2017 is a great series. Kawhi was crazy.
No moved.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. What debate that what argument y'all agree with, but y'all didn't agree with the topic? Like let's say you thought KD was better, but you agree with the Kawhi argument more.
Not that one.
What's the one, the small boxes?
Yeah,
the Amin one? He was supposed to cook with the Amin versus Peyton Pritchard.
Pritchard was nasty, man.
I think KD's better than Kawhi, but I had Amir winning that one.
That was a bad argument.
There's a few. I can't even remember most of the debates. I think Kyrie's more skilled than Steph, but I had Amir winning that one too. Although that one's kind of controversial. A lot of people disagree with me having Amir winning that one. But, yeah.
That's the biggest thing is just, especially when I was a judge, I took how I felt about it out of it. I just listened to what the points were. I act like I've never seen basketball like ever, or somewhat haven't seen basketball ever in my life. Who made me pick their side if as like a unaware person more than anything? That's kind of how I went with the judging.
See,
That's
like,
what I tried to do.
I can't do that with the Paul George topics. I'll be honest with you.
You can tell. 0-2.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens.
Y'all, I'm running a poll right now because we got to get down to the bottom of this. Who derails the show the most?
Oh,
Ron?
you're derailing the show with this.
but Morris, we got to get down to the bottom of it, though.
Merry Christmas.
Ron, L host, Swiper, crazy yapping, Pin talks for too long, and Jordan, random side convos. You guys let us really know so we can fix ourselves and provide a better product. But in the meantime, I got a couple more super chats, 3 more to be exact. One is from Military Man. Military Man said, watching this while doing my math test.
Yeah, shout out. I said, and Kenny, I gave you props earlier. I said, you're probably the maybe one of the best at math in the chat, if I had to assume based on no prior knowledge, but just assumptions. And then we had a math conversation.
What did you do, Kenny?
Well, I did go to school for robotic engineering before I switched to kinesiology, so I am pretty good at math.
All right. Culture Bandit said in a members chat, Penn is just hating. They didn't get to prepare for these topics. They did good.
That's what this entire tournament is. We don't get to prepare. The PCL, we won't get to prepare. So yes, we're all being judged on the same scale.
All right, yo, we got one more super chat. It's from Tito El Bandito.
Move back, Blurry.
You see that? You see that?
What's that? What's that?
It's Ron by far.
It's only 81 votes. It's only 81 votes. Wait till we actually,
Let me screenshot this.
You're screenshotting it before it's over because you're winning. Okay.
Ron is winning. Ron's winning.
Yeah, you are winning.
How am I winning?
Because you're not losing. Do you not get it? Okay, go chew on that for another 10 minutes. And then remember when I bring it up two weeks from now.
So,
all right, well, then the next super chat we're going to chew on is from Morpheus. Morpheus said the role of the host is to guide the flow of the show. L host.
Facts.
I'm guiding.
I think Rod does that. Just he does it in his own way. He does it to like continue the conversation in a certain way. I think when Swiper and Ox are hosts, they keep the topics going really well. But Ron does a good job of feeding into like the engagement part.
Yeah.
I think it's just different types of hosting.
I think Ron's like Steve Nash, but he's just doing that control chaos thing.
Do you agree with Swiper's
run and gun offense? See?
He just keeping it going. He like the chaos.
Kenny, do you agree with Swiper's assessment that Ron is just a jester?
You know, even though Ron hosted today, but like I
think Ron.
I tried to throw you the oop.
Just a jester.
Jordan, Grills, I threw the oop up there, but somebody else went and grabbed it before you did. That's what it was.
You could have given me that Steph Curry, Kyrie topic. I'm going off ball immediately. That would have been good.
Ron, can I ask you something? Is the PCL the next going to be on the Friday show, PC show, the next 4 weeks? Or is it going to be at night?
Nah, it's going to be at night. So the PCL is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Once again, in case you don't know, these are the days. I know it says September 27th. It's actually September 26th. So next Friday, September 26th. Then we got the following Friday, October 3rd. That is the semifinals. So whichever team makes it out, we will have just the regular one-on-one battles for whatever team advances. And then after that, we got the finals in the third place matchup. Once again, the winner of the PCL will get $1,250. Second place, $500. Third place, $250. All right, fellas, it has been real. What you guys got to say on the way out? Does anybody have anything? Anybody?
Nope. Hall of Fame Friday.
No, and all I gotta say is Paul George is still the best player we talked about here today. I'm gone. Y'all got it. It's over.
I mean, he did win his debate, so Jason Grills isn't right. Or isn't
The
wrong?
winner of the PCL is going to come from Swiper's team, I think.
How?
Okay. Because he has Swiper's team advancing.
Yeah, I have Swiper's team advancing, and I think they have the strongest team, I think.
Even with a Hall of Famer, so either Rez or Football Breakdown, you still got him?
I hope Rez goes to his team and that Jordan takes Football Breakdown. But if it is Football Breakdown, then I'm gonna have to rethink that. But if you get Rez Swiper, I think your team will win.
All right, well, shout out to all the Hall of Famers who had the balls to not only become Hall of Famers, but come up here and debate in front of a live audience. You guys came up here and cooked. My man, Jay Money, I appreciate you for coming, or Drago, or Skeet Nielsen, whichever one. You came in and did your thing. Shout out to Rez. Shout out to Football Breakdown. You guys are officially in the PCL. Shout out to Bulletproof, Daniel Boxes, Jason Grillionaire, MTL. You guys all came and held it down. We will catch you guys on Monday. See you soon.
Peace, y'all.